there's some stuff that we wanted to talk about in our reactions episode that we didn't. There were so many comments like, how could you not talk about Hoid's wife? Well, that's going to be this episode. We're getting there.
I was advocating for a full Hoid's wife episode, which also got shot down. No, I'm just teasing.
Okay, great.
2 hours later.
Well, I'm sorry for the intro being just objectively wrong for what this episode turned out to be. The title's different now. It's not Emberdark Mysteries. It's something with Hoid in the title, that's for sure. Welcome to Shardcast, the Brandon Sanderson podcast. We're a bunch of mega fans giving you the news discussion and, of course, a whole lot of opinions about Brandon's works and the Cosmere. I'm Eric, and joining me is David.
I am Windrunner on the Discord and the forums, and I'm trying to interpret Argent's arm signals.
I
don't know nautical flag signaling.
Yeah, are you a semaphore? Like, what is happening?
So the intrusive thought that was in my brain was the Napoleon Dynamite dance where he does the kind of the pull thing. However, I'm sitting on a chair, which inhibits my leg movement. And also I have to stay in the frame. And also I don't know how to do the Napoleon Dynamite thing. And so I just decided to move my hands.
Cool. Well, that's great. Also joining us is Evgeni.
Hi, I just spoke. You may have heard my voice. And I go by Argent on the Discord and the forums.
Great, good. And last but certainly not least, we have Bonnie.
Hi, I'm Cosmeregirl.
And I am Chaos. And today what we're going to talk about is we are going to talk about some mysteries from Isles of the Emberdark, which it feels crazy that that was like 9 months ago at this stage. I was like, oh, don't like that we got that book in July and it's March. But, hey.
Well, it always feels weird with these books with 2 releases, too.
Yeah.
Yes. It's also coming out a second time and you're like, so when did this book come out?
Yeah,
when you're trying to.
Yes.
A part of my brain genuinely thought this came out like 3 months ago. Because in a way, it did.
What?
The book release.
But that was last month. That was literally February.
Was it literally February?
Yes, it was literally February.
Oh.
That was not 3 months ago.
Guys.
It was not 3 months ago.
Look, I don't know what the date was, so I defaulted to the last Nexus.
No. That was Tailored Realities. We'll maybe get to a Tailored Realities episode at some point, but no.
Emberdark is just the book that should have been the last Nexus, Argent.
Look, it'll be even more confusing this Nexus when Fires of December will come out in the December Nexus, the Tor release. But the crowdfunding campaign. Sorry.
I am enjoying the Eric arc of learning what things are called.
This is a common problem.
I'm sorry.
This is Kleenex tissue paper.
This is a Kleenex problem, exactly.
Yeah.
I think we've already done this joke 3 times, at least, at this stage. But then those backers will get December, not in December, because it'll probably be in the fall. So it'll be probably before December.
This is the logical reason why you shouldn't like the title, because it makes explaining when anything happens very confusing. Because you just be like, no, it'll be June when December comes out, but December will also be out in December.
Now, December will be out in August or September.
What is June if not Australian December, though?
It's true.
There you go.
It's got something for both hemispheres. That's what you come to for Dragonsteel.
Yep. The Winters of July will be the sequel.
Yeah.
It'll be all about the Southern Hemisphere. Yes.
The other side of the planet.
July frost.
That's our frostness. Well, we'll get to that. But, whoa. Nailed it.
It's getting intense here.
Foreshadowing.
So, we've done a few other Emberdark episodes. Not really that many, to be honest. We did an episode on Silverlight and Shadesmar stuff. We did 2 episodes with Cosmere dragons, and then we talked about the Sleepless and the Grand Apparatus. But we wanted for a while to do an episode that was just about random Emberdark mysteries that we couldn't necessarily fill an entire episode. And so we're filling this episode with a bunch of miscellaneous crap. Hell yeah. But
It's a grab bag.
there's some good stuff. There's some stuff that we wanted to talk about in our reactions episode that we didn't. There were so many comments like, how could you not talk about Hoid's wife? Well, that's going to be this episode. We're getting there very slowly.
Well, the real answer is
Yeah.
because no one ever wants to remember the fact that Hoid apparently had a wife, and so that constantly slips the brain.
No,
I-
I wanted to discuss it. It's just we ran out of time on reactions. Excuse me, sir.
No, what wife?
And I was advocating for a full Hoid's wife episode, which also got shot down.
Is that true?
No.
Okay. I was like, I don't remember this at all. Producer
this.
Eric does not
Yeah,
remember this. I was like, wait, have I screwed
No.
things up royally? No.
No, I'm just teasing.
Okay, great. So this wasn't the first thing on the outline, but I guess let's just get right into it and talk about Hoid's wife. And
Her name is Sharon.
No. Evgeni's lying. Evgeni's spreading
This came
fake
out-
news.
This came out in the crowdfunding campaign. YouTube screen.
Yeah, so
Yeah,
if
thank
you,
you.
if you
Yes.
go to the you can't do that anymore because the crowdfunding campaign's over. But if you go
It is
to the
over.
Backer Kit exclusive, hey, let's write a collaborative Hoid story, you will find out that Hoid's name is in fact not Sharon. I lied about that.
Yeah.
It's Elizabeth.
No. Okay, Bonnie, why don't you read the actual quotes that's going on here and not just... Before we recorded, I think we blabbed for about a half hour that what I didn't press record of just random crap. So we're already loosey-goosey here. Like we are in
Bro,
the
my goose
Emberdark,
is so
guys.
loosey, man.
For sure.
The
Here.
temptation to read this with Sharon is very strong.
No. Focus, guys.
Embrace the bit.
No.
We have to find a way to get you out so you can come save us. Maybe your wife can get you free. Have you tried contacting her? And Hoid says, she and I are on speaking terms, he said softly, partially because she doesn't remember ever having been my wife.
You gotta be careful with that memory manipulation, Hoid. You gotta.
Maybe she did it to herself. This could be an empowerment thing. You know, you're just like, I want to be forgetting this 100%. You know, like
No,
I talked with
am taking
Yasna.
my right.
I talked with
I'm taking my
Yasna,
right
and
to
I'm like,
remove the memories of this man from my mind. It's over.
Does this make Hoid shush?
Hey,
in her mind, maybe. Yeah.
No, but that depends on how the memory excision was done, right?
Well,
The
cultivation
Dalinar
could be
thing-
anywhere, guys.
next spoiler stream. Ask Brandon. Did Hoid's wife go to the Night Watcher to get
Yeah.
her memories of Hoid excised?
Yes. Oh, full Cosmere spoilers, by the way, for the episode. We're talking about Emberdark, so there
By
you
the
go.
way.
But, And then we have a WOB from the spoiler stream, which we have not done WOB episodes on. So you're getting it here first in this episode, and we'll do it again when we do a WOB episode. But Borja asks, have we met Hoid's wife, who's named during Isles of the Emberdark before that book? Oh, wait, sorry. No, this is Celsius. What am I talking about?
This is in fact Celsius.
This is not the spoiler
It
stream at
was
all.
Fahrenheit.
So we've
Okay.
already talked about that.
We've already talked about that.
And we'll talk about it again.
No, we already did that. But Brandon says, it's a possibility. I want you to theorize about that. And also in this, we also have Hoid's twins. And so the quote that Hoid says, if you see either of the twins after you've gotten out of your mess, I'd appreciate you warning them I could use some help. And I know we have had some discussion off camera as to whether that means they are Hoid's twins. This one's from the spoiler stream where someone asks, how many kids does Hoid have? And Brandon says he only has 2, the twins. So presumably, because this is all happening in the same paragraph, I'm going to say this is this entire family unit. And the wife does not remember that she was Hoid's wife.
Yeah, the ideal nuclear family, an ex-stone shard, a wife who doesn't remember the husband, and a pair of twins.
I'm thinking creepy identical twins, just to kind of round it off. No, not that all identical twins are creepy, but I'm thinking like The Shining, like.
Yeah, I would like that. I think either that or
Sorry,
like
is this an April Fool's episode? Did I miss something? I like it. I'm just like, this is an interesting vibe that we've been going for.
Either that or like eccentric, we're going to mess with people because we are twins.
I mean, if you were raised by Hoid, that's not surprising. Unless
we don't know that they were.
Well, I mean, I guess that's true. So maybe
they know him though. He seems familiar enough with them that he expects that if they hear that he's in need, they'll come to his aid. Yeah. So it's not like a no contact type deal.
So that's interesting if the mom doesn't remember Hoid ever being her husband. But like, does she remember the kids? Like, is that all excised? Like, oh, oof, that seems less empowering. Less empowering for sure. But
I don't think it's necessarily the most likely case.
Because sure,
I mean, it could be a Dalinar Evie situation, right? Mm-hmm. Mom could remember the kids just fine because Dalinar remembers one of his kids just fine. The other one is the invalid.
Yes, of course.
I forgot about that.
So it's so problematic if you think about it.
I will never let it go.
It's so bad.
But yeah, so it could be a Dalinar Evie's type of situation, right? Or it could be that she has no memory of any of them, which does make the story, I think, more tragic.
Yeah.
Like what happened to... although, Starling does bring up the wife as, maybe she can help you get out, which implies a certain level of knowledge, a certain level of power. She doesn't express surprise when Hoid goes, she doesn't remember being my wife. And so Starling presumably knows about that already. So we are probably looking at someone who is powerful and knowledgeable, and it obviously has no memory of Hoid, but that's not a recent development necessarily.
Oh, see, I read it in the inverse way, which is that Starling is unaware, that Hoid's wife would not be in a condition to help him, and is saying, "Hey, well, can't your wife help you?" And he's like, "Nope, she doesn't remember who I am." And Starling's like, "Oh, okay." That's how I was taking
that's why I read it.
Yeah. Evgeni's outvoted. Loser.
Another thought I had was, maybe there are various tropes of a life with somebody like Hoid being somewhat unfun. Brandon has said things about how Hoid has been unlucky in love. He's not good in relationships, stuff like that at various points. I think that he's kind of an inconsistent guy. He's kind of on the, he's kind of on the move. I could easily see somebody not wanting to be done, A, or B, I don't know, some sort of witness protection type thing. I don't know if that's even possible, but just being
that's actually quite interesting.
If there's some sort of threat going on that you're okay, we need to put her in a status where she doesn't, she's going into this status willingly, being okay, I'll be brought out of it later, but for XYZ reason, people can't know that I know you. They can't know. They could see that, and they could see the contact with you on my soul if I was there, or something like that.
Because Hoid is a person of interest for the entire Cosmere.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's a very interesting thought.
I do like that a lot, actually.
I really want her. I really want her to have autonomy with us, lowercase a.
Okay.
I don't want this to be, she doesn't have any power over her situation. So I like the idea that she chose this situation, whatever it was, whether she jumped in front of something meant for Hoid. That would fit the kind of tragic idea behind this. Like what you're saying, if she intentionally forgot to kind of maybe even help with getting to whatever his goals are, his eventual goals.
And on this vein, maybe we should read this WAB from the spoiler stream that kind of hints at what's going on here. So the questioner asks, which shard that we haven't seen are you most excited to write and for us to read, and why? Brandon, Valor, probably. Valor's history with Hoid is fun. Writing an almost all-powerful shard of Aiden Alcium, who is also Hoid's ex-girlfriend, is a lot of fun. Little spoiler for Dragonsteel, but there you are. Hoid's not good at relationships. He's really, really not good at relationships. Don't spread that one to who haven't read yet. You will get something. There's a good reason that Valor does not want Hoid to find her, let's just say. And he doesn't know where she is. And the questioner, can we have a romantasy book, Hoid and his wife? Brandon, romantasies don't deal well with tragedy, in my experience. I don't know if that would work terribly well. He said writing about Hoid's ex-girlfriend is a lot of fun, not would be. Brandon, it is a lot of fun because Yasna is also an ex, and I've already written about her. She was only an ex briefly by the end of Stormlight 5, but yeah. Writing about Hoid being annoyed is a lot of fun. You shouldn't expect a Hoid and Valor story anytime soon. So, I would say the wife would definitely not be Valor, just because, it's kind of implied here, ex-girlfriend. So, I would not. The wife is someone else here.
There is a way to read this differently, right? Because this starts with, hey, which shard? Oh, Valor, Hoid's ex-girlfriend. And then I think the questioner assumes that Valor is the ex-wife because the conversation transitions from Valor, ex-girlfriend, to can we have a romantasy book about Hoid and his wife? Well,
but Brandon could have just seen random other people saying things in chat. I don't this was during the spoiler stream where Brandon was going off in chat and going in lots of different directions, and so I don't exactly remember, but I wouldn't necessarily link these.
I think we would have indicated that this is a different questioner if that were the case. Regardless, Brandon doesn't confirm either way, right? What we have is topic A, most exciting shard, Valor, who is ex-girlfriend. Separate topic, can we have a romantasy book about Hoid and wife?
Yeah.
Oh, tragic.
Yeah.
He mentions, interestingly, too, little spoiler for Dragonsteel, but there you are, which implies that Valor and Hoid were together during the Dragonsteel timeline, which is interesting.
Especially given the Tanner Koravari relationship. We have not one but two secret dragon human relate. I don't know. Maybe Koravari wasn't secret. Maybe that was
a win for monster lovers.
Yeah.
Well, it's hard to say when Hoid became a Dawn Shard, It's not exactly, Hoid could have had that Dawn Shard, and then, we got the...
When in the timeline do you guys think Hoid was married?
Ooh, okay. This is a good question. This feels more recent. I guess it's very plausible that all of these people could, at the very least, have breath and could live however long the story and timeline requires, right?
Yeah.
So it doesn't need to be within like 100 years, potentially. But I'm kind of thinking 100, 200 years. I don't think this is like it's after Era 2, I think. Like it's after Stormlight front half, after Era 2, and sometime between that and Space Age for sure. So I think maybe like a century, maybe at most.
It just feels so weird for me to imagine the Hoid we know, like with as someone, as a husband and a father.
So let me pitch to you what I think. let me just create a fan fiction for you,
think,
to see.
you think
Yeah,
that
Yeah, throw it out.
Go for it.
Set them straight.
no. I think the wife is someone who really liked Hoid traveling, and they traveled together for quite some time, and like someone who really liked that sense of adventure and exploration. And it's possible that eventually she's like, okay, yeah, I'm over it now. I've done a century of it. I'm good. And Hoid's like, well, I've been doing this thousands of years and things. I think that's a plausible explanation. I think it's also plausible this witness protection angle. I think Hoid would be, very well targeted by various shards for various reasons. We'll talk maybe later about if Retribution's around and stuff, but if Retribution's around, I imagine Retribution would not particularly like and would target Hoid and his family, right? I don't think that's particularly surprising. But any number of shards would have that justification.
But in that case, why would Hoid like willingly or at least knowingly endanger people like that by getting close to them?
Well, sometimes things happen despite your best intentions.
Well, what? Why the Lord Ruler have kids, Evgeni? I don't freaking know. Sometimes sometimes it seems like a good idea at the time, or maybe it wasn't. Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, think about how weird Hoid's kids are going to be too. Like just like all the various, magical like connections.
Yeah, because like
be tied up in
like
there.
Shallan shows that some of these spiritual DNA things can be heritable. So, like,
yeah, I just especially after Wind and Truth, I've grown increasingly uncomfortable with the idea of Hoid and like someone who was not at least a few centuries old, if not a few thousand years old.
Sure.
And so like when you and this is obviously just a random pitch, but like when you bring up the idea of maybe they've been traveling together and someone like enjoys the exploration aspect of it, that makes me think of someone on the younger side of things.
That's true.
In
true.
Cosmere terms,
yes.
Younger, right? Which can be, you can be 80 and are still young by Cosmere standards.
Yeah.
So like I don't know. I feel like for a wife, I would want someone who is more on an equal footing in terms of experience. Like I want the power balance between them to be closer to equal, right? And obviously Hoid is on the top end of the Cosmere power balance scale, and there are, probably double-digit numbers of people in the entire Cosmere who are close to him in that regard.
Yeah.
And half of them are gods.
The other half are dragons.
Half are dragons, right?
Yeah.
Well, dragons are gods. I'm
okay.
So like, but I want someone who is like, who has the experience of the Cosmere.
You don't want
otherwise
Nikki
it just
Savage.
Well, maybe Nikki Savage after some time, right?
Well, in centuries, but you know what I mean? Like, you don't want somebody like that who's kind of like hanging out with gods, on the edge of the Cosmere, like a Doctor Who companion style thing, where he's bringing someone into this world.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you want an equal, which I think is
Doctor
totally
Who-
reasonable.
Doctor Who is, I think, a good comparison to all of
Yeah.
this, right?
I mean, it is weird to imagine Hoid even agreeing to marry someone in that respect, because he is like just so all over the place. So like, I want that person to be special and cool in that way, right? You know?
And
I'll
part
be
of me
over here as
wonders-
the Rose Doctor shipper.
Well, I don't think it's inherently bad. I'm just thinking in the case of Hoid, like in this for this character in this instance, you know, like I'm not
It's
saying
gotta
anything about
be-
Doctor Who. I don't know much about Doctor Who.
Like when you're a Hoid, it's probably difficult not to see most of the Cosmere as children.
Yeah. And
That's
I
for
think
sure.
that like what I wonder is maybe if the fact that he got married says something more about who his partner ends up being than about him. And that they
Mhm.
were saying like, oh, okay, no, like if we're going to be together, like I want a commitment, not. But then Brandon also, there's also Brandon. So it's possible that because they have kids, they needed to be married, you know? So there's also that angle to it, you know, so.
Yeah, I think he's
I don't know.
loosened up some more, you know, as
That's
time has
true.
progressed.
That's true.
So
It has happened to some degree, but you
Yeah.
know there is still like, you know, there's an angle that you can read into it from an internal, and there's an external angle you can read into it.
So I've had this
Yes.
interesting theory that probably, I'm sure, is not accurate or correct. But
okay, great.
Let's hear it.
you know that bit about Hoid is trying to resurrect somebody, right?
Oh my god. Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Yes.
Does his
Alright.
wife not remember him because she's dead?
So let's go back, and apparently, maybe even pre-Valor, is Hoid was married pre-Valor,
Okay.
and his wife died. He finally figured out how to resurrect her, but she doesn't remember him.
You know, maybe it's my desire to not have necrophilia discourse in the fandom or Discord
Oh my God.
that I would prefer.
Yeah, but is it?
Well,
That's
I
not
mean,
where
I'm
we're
just
going
saying
here.
it's more in that direction than I would prefer.
Is Kelsier,
This is the first place my mind went.
if you were to get,
there's lots of resurrection. Is Vasher?
There's lots
Vasher's not a
of-
corpse
there's lots
anymore.
of resurrection.
And he came back in his own body that did die.
I'm just saying it's a little different if Hoid is trying to resurrect his lover from thousands of years ago that compared with the cognitive shadows you're listing. I do think there is a bit of a difference, that it is a more challenging thing to do, I would say.
Well, I'm not envisioning that he's gonna like pull up like her bones out of a grave. You know what I mean? Like I think like
That is
It would
not
re- it would,
how
like,
I'm
recreate-
thinking of it.
yeah, you like she would just appear. You know,
Oh,
it'd be like
okay, hold on,
wish.
back up. The reason I am thinking of this theory
Okay.
is because how clearly this is enough of a focus for him that it's mentioned by a shard. It's mentioned in The Traveler by Frost, right?
Sure.
So
the
the
this is
resurrection.
by a
enough of focus
shard.
for him that people know about this.
What shard mentioned this?
It was in one of the letters in one of the what do you call the things in
Is
the
that
beginning
true?
of the chapter?
the epigraphs. There's a lot of epigraphs at this point. It may well be in one of them. I
don't
mean, I know
remember.
people have.
I think the resurrection angle is strictly Traveler exclusive.
That's what I thought too.
There is another piece of evidence that's
There's
in the
another one that
canonical
came out,
Cosmere. Because somebody was pointing that out to us in the Discord thread recently. We probably should find it because I know they were like, you guys talked about this. You talked about the Traveler. You forgot this reference, and I was because we were like just talking about the Traveler in like a previous WoW episode.
Okay, so this is Endowment's letter to Hoid in Wind and Truth. And she's basically saying, don't go after Valor. She does not want to see you again. I'm absolutely certain of that.
She's my girlfriend now.
Maybe. Be content to play with your toys on their world of storms. Or do I have to broadcast what I've learned of your goals? I certainly do not think it a coincidence that you have made a special study of the worlds where legends abound of the dead being raised. You
Yeah.
feign altruism, but you have another motive, do you not? Well, you always have. Oh, God, Endowment is just exactly that. I love Endowment. The tone
The
of this
disdain.
is
Endowment
just
is
like,
fantastic.
oh, it's
Great tone.
yes, it's so condescending. I love it.
And this is off the confidence of somebody who, you know, depending on how far you think she saw or not, may have successfully, in her mind, executed Rays. You know, like
Yeah.
Yeah, that is
since
true.
last we've heard from her. So
That
you
is
know,
true.
she's like, well,
I mean, she will certainly not to derail the episode too far, but like she will certainly take credit for. Oh, I told you that if Rays were became a problem, he would be dealt with.
Yep.
And then
mhm.
points.
Yeah.
And like this entire letter started with, your rebuttal is eloquent as always, but did you think I would be moved? Just so like presumably Hoid responded to the Oathbringer letter,
good.
which we didn't see.
Yeah.
And then just,
Yeah. Did you consider you were a dumbass?
No,
Endowment
it's so good.
is my
Okay.
favorite.
And this is the thing that, you know, sorry, I'm not going to go on too much of a tangent, but here
That's
we
fine.
are. This is the tangent episode.
This is the tangent episode.
The thing that I don't understand is we get lots of evidence, and I'm like, is this an inconsistency or is this Brandon doing something sneaky? Where we've got, you know, he's saying in that WAD previously, Valor, there's good reason Valor's want Hoid to find him, you know, and Endowment's here saying, trust me, Valor doesn't want you to find her, you know. But we've got Sazade saying, if I believe correctly,
Mhm.
It has
and
been
Valor's
too long in
it
her
has been too
estimation.
long in Valor's estimation since you spoke. So is there?
That is interesting.
Is somebody lying here? What's going on?
So here's what I think. I think it is a complex situation where Endowment is picking up on certain signals, and Sazed probably doesn't know the full context of all this because, you know, why would he? But he could be picking up on different things. And so I don't
Counter.
know. Yeah.
I could absolutely see this as Valor possibly like, maybe I should get back with him. Endowment's like, no, you should not.
Yeah, I mean, it's very
That's
possible
what I've been
Endowment
getting
is
here.
like, no.
Don't you think about it.
Yeah. Whereas,
I mean, valid.
Trouble.
First of all, valid.
maybe not back together, but at least making contact again.
Yeah.
Maybe I should text my ex, you know? Maybe this is
Exactly.
a good idea.
Exactly.
Maybe I
No.
Maybe I should
Delete my
send a
number.
letter. Maybe I should send a letter via a Silverlight Mercantile messenger to my ex.
Yeah, I should text him. He's so flaky though, you know? And Endowment's like, he's way too flaky. Do not do that.
Block his number. Delete his number. Do not talk to him. Yeah.
Remove his
That's
memories. Just get rid of it.
Oh no. Remove your
There's a-
memories of him.
There's a good reason that Valor does not want Hoid to find her, let's just say. So, like, the surface context of this answer is, oh, Hoid's bad at relationships. There's a good reason that, you know, so the implication is the good reason has something to do with Hoid being bad, right? Thinking about this, just trying to explore, you know, the possibility space. What if Brandon is being tricky, and the good reason that Valor doesn't want Hoid to find her is because Valor is in some way in a dangerous space. And like, she cares about Hoid. Yes, they're exes. Let's say she cares about him. She doesn't want Hoid to find her because that would spell peril for Hoid. Harmony has reached out to Valor somehow and has picked up on this, you know, amendability, affection, whatever you want to call it. Not amendability, amicability. Amicability? Amicable?
Amicability. Yeah.
Amicability.
Yep.
Endowment is in some capacity blinded by her dislike for Hoid, or has a massive crush on Valor, or
or both. Why not both?
or both, right?
Well,
But let's say she doesn't have she has not gotten in touch with Valor recently in the way that Harmony has, and so she's not speaking she's speaking on her behalf without having checked in with her.
It's standing orders,
Counterpoint, there is some interesting things here that I'd like to read. As for Valor, our dealings are none of your business for largely the same reasons. Can you not leave her alone? You need not always have the last word, though I know you collect them like badges of honor. I will not tell you where she is. All I will say is that I've kept my bargain, and I did not go in person at her request for aid. So there's something that Valor requested Endowment's aid. Endowment did not go in person. And then the next one is, these days, it seems she and I are the only ones capable of maintaining any manner of isolation. And then it actually goes into, I can tell you with absolute certainty, she does not want to see you again. It has not been too long. No, I do not think it will ever be. So Valor needing some aid, there is something there to that, but it does make it seem like they interacted somewhat recently. Like
It does sound like that.
CZ, it could have been more recent because the timeline with these letters and Stormlight is going to inherently be a bit loosey-goosey, right? It doesn't need to happen literally during Oathbringer when the Oathbringer letters happen per se, right? I'm sure there's some wiggle room, but
That's true. That's true. We don't know exactly when some of this is happening.
But they do feel relatively contemporaneous.
Relatively.
Right? They happen all in the couple of years that the first arc of Stormlight takes place is what that feels like. Maybe a little bit earlier. That's not enough time for Valor to flip between I want him to find me versus I don't want him to find me.
Yeah.
Yeah. It does make you wonder how late Hoid was still maybe hoping that another shard would intervene on Rashar. Despite everything else that he's doing, still being if we could get another one over here, that would be so great.
Yeah. This is this is a more interesting letter than I remember, and maybe we do need to do some episodes on Wind and Truth Epigraphs. Bring it back.
I definitely forgot about how cool that was. So there was something else there that I thought was interesting, which was I want to
the in-person bit.
Yeah,
not meeting in person, which it sounds like Valor must have been okay with, just because it seems like the second half of that is her saying we're the only two that keep to what I'm assuming is the promise that we don't go to we stay apart from each other.
Yeah. Endowment seems to find that very important. For sure.
Yeah, she's the first.
She's been harping on about that since the Way of not the Way of Kings, but since the first time we got a letter from her.
Yeah.
Oh, here's a different Valor theory, which is Valor is. There's a question that I think is implicit in Wind and Truth. Here we go. We ended up here.
Emberdark mysteries. Where are they?
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, whatever.
I'm sorry. Which is, we'll have to tangent. We'll have to come back after this. But which is why, Canvas goes looking for people and goes looking for Valor and doesn't find her. Why? Why is Valor not available at that point? What is going on?
And that's thousands of years ago, right?
That's thousands of years ago. Yep. And but the status seems unchanged. No one knows where Valor is, or maybe, you can, tough to say. Maybe she pops up in the middle.
But Teravangian, when he ascends, also fails to find her.
Which is so interesting that Sazed made contact, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Sazed's not a dick.
Well, but I guess that's true.
Sazed? Yeah,
okay. So anyway, back to you, David.
But my thought is that maybe Valor is out there somewhere doing an anti-odium thing that's not ready yet, and that's what's going on. Is they're marshaling forces, they're plotting something. They're doing something somewhere, and the last thing they need is Hoid to drag Retribution's attention over to whatever corner of the Cosmere they are currently plotting in. And like that's kind of what's going on.
I'll just read the Valor Sazed quote. I do think that Valor is reasonable and suggest you approach her again. It has been too long in her estimation since your last conversation. So it's not Valor suggesting that Hoid should contact her. Sazed's suggesting that Hoid contact her, and that Valor said it's been a long time since he and I have talked.
Yeah, but it's been a long time kind of suggests.
It's been too long, and her estimation is saying it's been too long since we've talked. Like that's what that is.
I could see a complex, crunchy relationship. I know that's, usually we don't get crunchy, X relationship energy in the Cosmere, but I find that very interesting, where like there's a bit of wistfulness and like, oh yeah, it's been a long time since we talked, but for all these other reasons, we can't talk. I don't want to talk to him, right? And maybe she's not telling all of that context to Sazed. I don't know. I think there's some room to make this work.
Well, see, and my other thought was just Sazed, like Valor didn't say that at all. And Sazed is like, no, these two need to talk. And so he's going,
that is also true.
Valor said you should talk to her, and Valor's going, I do not want to talk to him. But
it is
in his opinion,
Sazed is just lying.
Yeah.
Pushing for the harmony or the discord.
Mm-hmm.
He's known to withhold information. Does he directly lie though? Usually, wow, this is mega tangent.
He tells Kelsier he can't bring him back. That's a lie.
He lies.
Yeah,
he lies.
He does. He totally lies.
Back.
Okay, cool. I guess that's more like right after the Ascension though. Like I'm thinking like as a shard,
he's not his friend. They like, he's not Tanavast. Is it like shards aren't forbidden from lying?
He lies at the end of the Lost Meadow when they are on top of the building.
Yeah, that's
he's
true.
like there was no Lerasium in the explosion. Sorry, we couldn't.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, liar. He's a consistent liar. He's a known liar.
And unfortunately, he has gotten better at it because we are in Kelsier's PO. And like that, this is a parallel that I've always enjoyed. Where at the end of Secret History, Kelsier is like, oh, he's always been a terrible liar, and clocks that Sazed is lying to him. And at the end of the Lost Meadow, he goes, Sazed has always been a terrible liar, but doesn't clock him there.
Oh, that's fun. I forgot
nice.
that. Yeah, that's fun.
That's a nice catch. Go, Brandon.
And Hoid wouldn't necessarily know the difference, right? In these letters from Harmony.
Probably
right?
not. He's got the lifetime of experience to like be able to read people well.
Yeah.
But he doesn't know Sazed personally.
Yeah, I think you kind of need some of that. As interesting as that all is, maybe we should veer a little back
to the wife and twins.
I mean, maybe we need to do a Valor episode, guys. I don't know.
That might be a thing to throw out there.
We might need to do that.
That could be fun.
So
I don't know.
I feel confident Valor is not Hoid's wife. I also feel confident Chris is not Hoid's wife.
Yes.
So the reason we got here in the first place was talking about the whole resurrection quote.
Yes, right.
And the reason that stuck out to me is if you're going to spend, thousands of years now with one of your goals being trying to resurrect someone, assuming that's been his goal this whole time, or one of his goals this whole time, they've got to be someone important to you.
Sure.
Or important in some way. So I would think like family member, possibly wife, possibly.
Sure.
Yeah.
Roommate.
No, I think that's a really reasonable thing, Bonnie. And it's interesting because it turns it on its head a little bit. Because I was thinking when I saw that Hoid was married, I was like, oh, I guess the person he wants to resurrect probably isn't his a romantic partner because he's moved on in some ways, although you could still potentially see something like that happening, but to have resurrected her already and, there have been some sort of, monkey's paw like side effect to it
Yeah.
would be a good way to turn that on its head. I think that's really.
I mean,
interesting.
you can argue that the Yasna relationship was like one of the reasons it fails. It because he is just not committed to anyone but his wife, regardless of her status. During the Stormlight first arc.
Mhm.
Although I didn't get any like if like part of the reason the relationship failed was because he like his mind was on somebody he could never have, like that did not come through for me.
No, that didn't come through for me
like,
either.
I would say that that was there.
It was not there, but like he was clearly not a good partner in that relationship.
For sure.
Sure.
And so like it's possible that in his eyes this was, I don't want to call it a fling, but this was a less serious relationship than what Yasna wanted, and less committed relationship than what Yasna wanted, and that's why that's one of the reasons they had a fallout.
Mm-hmm.
Another aspect with this, because can we have a romantasy book, Hoid and his wife? Romantasies don't deal with tragedy. The tragedy could be something that did happen long ago, and he is trying to resurrect her. That is
I could see that.
Entirely possible.
You could also make the other argument, right? You could say, oh, the tragedy is she brought her back to life. She is wrong.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or, she came back wrong is what I mean.
Yeah, I don't necessarily know if I like Hoid bringing back someone from thousands of years ago, because I feel like Hoid has just changed a lot as a person. And part of me, I want I do want more of a relationship of equals, because it just feels so imbalanced. And like resurrecting someone who's been dead thousands of years does not solve that problem at all, really. That's like, oh, I resurrected my first girlfriend from thousands of years ago or whatever. And I'm a totally different person. Maybe this is a bad idea. I don't know.
Maybe that's why it doesn't work out, Eric.
Yeah.
This is going very down the rabbit hole.
Great.
But there is a Tress quote.
Okay, great.
There
good.
is a Tress quote.
Let's hear
it.
You're ready.
Semi-relevant here.
Good.
I just read a lot of Tress.
Yeah.
No, I'm excited. And Brandon likes to drop interesting little like Hoid threads in things like that. Which are seeds he will have to one day collect again to weave into a story.
Oh, brother.
Yep.
While Bonnie is looking, I think my opinion on all of this has mostly solidified at... So I do like the resurrection angle in some ways. Where I'm finding myself landing is if he has succeeded in resurrecting a loved one, his wife, ex-wife, whatever, that implies a certain measure of he has accomplished this goal, like the goal stated in The Traveler and implied by Endowment in her letter. And I don't get the feeling that he is... It feels weird to say that he's done with this arc of his.
Yeah.
Without like any confirmation that and obviously Hoid, a lot of the stuff is behind the scenes, so it's possible, but it feels weird to me. And so my inclination is to say he is still searching for the same thing that he's always searched for. And so that thing cannot be like, if that thing is the successful resurrection of his wife, then she cannot have been resurrected. And that flies against the idea of, oh, she's around. She just doesn't remember him.
I had the similar thought that ultimately it seems like the arc that we're going for in the Cosmere is that we're going to finish Stormlight, we're going to go back to Dragonsteel, and then we're going to do the end of the Cosmere. And so it's like you would need the context for Hoid to finally understand his motivations, and then presumably that comes to a head in that last Mistborn era. And so it feels weird for him to accomplish this goal off screen. In between that
Trust us up.
Yeah, trust us up.
All right. I love this. Memory may not be the heart of what makes us human, but it's at least a vital organ. Nevertheless, we must take care not to let the bliss of the present fade when compared to supposedly better days. We're happy, sure, but were we more happy then? If we let it, memory can make shadows of the now, as nothing can match the buttressed legends of our past. So I like the idea of trying to resurrect someone and then realizing that maybe you can't bring back
That maybe this is a bad idea because I had this memory.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah, well, and what I want to say and what I was going to say kind of in response to the conversation is I would come out against what Argent and Eric are saying.
Okay.
I think it would be interesting to see a Hoid losing his wife jump back into the original, the Dragonsteel trilogy or whatever it is, see this inciting incident, understand this has been his motivation. And Hoid is a guy with a lot of motivations. Like, this is going to be a piece of what he's doing, but he's collecting all the powers. He's attacking Odium. He's got a lot of goals. And so things can be resolved in that overall arc that he is on, in different orders. And I think it would be interesting if what at first might seem like, oh, it's a quest to find some way to bring back his wife. Well, we don't really see much of that. Brandon's not interested in covering much of that. The story is actually, oh, he brought his wife back and she doesn't remember him. And what do you do now? And that's actually the story that Brandon wants to tell. And that could all be Mistborn Era 4, so depending on how he wants to run it, what actually is the story he wants to tell, you could kind of set it up a different, you don't have to see him do it, or it could appear in another Hoid story. I don't know. God only knows. It could happen in the Aether trilogy that Brandon will write.
I'm sure he'll get to that.
Certainly he will.
Certainly, that's more of a priority than Cell.
Ian Alcium can't do it. Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. That's an interesting point.
The way I've been dealing with this is basically that Hoid does have a bunch of different goals, and resolving one doesn't mean the rest are resolved.
I agree with that. Where I disagree with this is that this feels like a personal story. And and not only is it a personal story, it is a personal story that has been going on until very recently in Cosmere terms, because in fact, if we are stapling the acquisition of different magics to this idea that, oh, he's looking for all these magics so that he can find one that helps him do this thing, then he gets Aeon Door in the future. In some ways, he gets it in Tress. And so if that is still ongoing, he has spent 10,000 years, 11,000 years working on this goal, and it gets resolved off screen. And it's the fact that it's a personal quest and we don't get to see his personal perspective on that quest is a part that grates against me.
That's just the problem with Hoid, though. Until Brandon writes a Hoid story where Hoid's doing stuff and accomplishing his goals, it's always going to be happening off screen, So that's almost, it's the nature of it.
I don't know, trying to find a way to contain Odium, and presumably he is now working towards gathering some opposition against Retribution. That feels like a natural follow-up to what he's done so far.
Sure.
That doesn't feel personal. That feels like it can happen fully in the background, and it's nice that we hear that it's happening, but we don't need to be in his head to get that. For something like the resurrection of a loved one, that feels like we need to be inside his head to appreciate that story.
Well, and I guess it's like what I'm saying is if you assume that that's the story, we've seen the story of Orpheus a lot, you know what I mean? So maybe Brandon doesn't want to do the wife resurrection plot, and he wants to do the what happens after you resurrect your wife plot. Doesn't that sound like a Brandon pitch?
Okay. I do love the Orpheus story. Such a
story. No, that's also a great story. He could do
there's definitely something to be said for we see the consequences of the resurrection, and that's where the story is.
That's where the real story is.
And
that's where the real tragedy is.
Well, I mean, if it is a loved one who died, like that already is, not great. But
you know what I'm
like it could be more
It's
tragic when you bring her back and it's worse somehow,
Yeah.
That sounds
stories love the idea that there are things worse than death, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And we can do a lot of that in the Cosmere.
Okay.
Here,
Yes.
can I do my dark horse pitch for a different person Hoid's going to bring back before we pivot back?
Yes.
Yeah,
Quick,
no.
one word. Former master. That's the other person.
Oh,
the
sure.
real Hoid.
Original Hoid. We don't know anything about him.
Do you want to recount this to the audience who probably has no idea what you're talking about because it's from the Liar of Partnell sample chapters?
I would love to, everybody.
Imagine not having read the Liar of Partnell
The
sample.
fool.
So good.
I don't even think they're still available, are they?
I don't think so.
For those of you who weren't clicking links, assuming there was no viruses on them on forums, and downloading the Brandon Sanderson Word documents 15 years ago, they've got to be out there somewhere.
I'm sure.
Somewhere. But yeah, anyway, in there is a liar. There are various length Liar of Partnell sample chapters that don't really get to any level of plot. But the inciting incident is young Hoid named Midius having his master Jesk, the storyteller, Hoid, be assassinated by a local king because he refused to be summoned back into the city. And he dies, and Midius Hoid takes Hoid's name and goes into the city to answer the summons. And that's what occurs in the sample chapter.
And we see a little bit of Yolish light weaving. We see a little bit of Fane.
Troon being the
well.
Yeah.
If you get into the long version, yeah, and you get into the city and
A story about a rabbit.
But yeah.
And for context, Liar of Partnell was what I think Brandon was working on right before he got Wheel of Time. I think he was trying to write that. I think he was trying to discovery write it, which is wild to me to imagine that. And it did not work. And so I'm not 100% sure if he finished that book, but needless to say, when he got Wheel of Time, he kind of put Dragonsteel plans on ice and then did Stormlight as his big series instead. Dragonsteel and Stormlight were always kind of percolating in his mind, right? But he decided it was the time was right to do Stormlight, and Dragonsteel would be some other time.
Yeah, and that is a good point, Eric. He's always kind of vague about whether or not he finished it, but he does talk about Mythwalker as his unfinished novel. So it makes you wonder if he got it to some sort of completion.
It's just wild to imagine discovery writing, and that book ends with Shattering of Annelsium. I don't know, that feels an interesting book to not outline in advance, but Brandon, he
was trying stuff in that.
He was trying stuff.
I mean?
He's trying stuff.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I have to say the world building that felt so good too.
But I personally, I think resurrecting loved ones is a time-honored storytelling trope that can be very problematic in many respects. And
I feel like it more often is than is not.
And I mean, usually the story's about that, where it's I read, the problems of resurrecting said person, right? That's usually what we're going for here. But I do find resurrecting Mentor to be interesting. That's an interesting, different way to go about this. Now, real talk, though, with Hoid's wife, because I don't even know what this episode is. It's Hoid now, basically. But do we think Hoid's wife is a person he resurrected, or do we think it's someone totally different? Because I think it's someone totally different.
I think it's I've actually long liked the idea that it's OG Hoid.
Yeah,
I've never liked the idea that it's Aiden Alzium.
Oh God,
I know that's
No.
that's the easy low hanging fruit. That fruit's rotten. Don't reach for it.
And to be clear, you're referring to the person Hoid wants to resurrect. I'm talking about the person Hoid married. I don't think Hoid married his resurrected mentor. That would be interesting.
Or Aiden Alcium.
Or Aiden Alcium. I don't think he married Aiden Alcium either.
Yeah.
Well, look, all of Aiden Alcium's power is now gone, distributed to the shards, so Hoid can resurrect the vessel.
Sure.
Quote unquote.
Yeah. So
right.
I suppose we could answer resurrected or who he's married to. I was just trying to get on topic. Okay. Excuse me.
I like the idea. I like Bonnie's idea that maybe he's already resurrected her. I think on the whole, I tend to think this is somebody else and he hasn't done it. But I think it's an interesting possibility.
I think it's an interesting possibility for sure.
I agree. I don't think this. I think this is someone totally different. But I like.
Good. I'm glad. We spent the last 40 minutes talking about it.
Hey,
I like it.
You gotta run through. You gotta run through the options.
It's true. It's true.
That's exactly it. Look, we have
two
puzzle pieces. We need to see if they work together.
Yeah, Eric, these are the least harmful conspiracy theories we could be engaged in. Okay,
it's true. I like the tangent where we talked about Valor a bunch. That was my favorite.
I always like talking about Valor.
It's an easy font to go to for what the heck is going on there.
I think Hoid's wife is someone from way back when. I don't think that's a recent development.
Oh, interesting.
And I don't think the memory loss is a recent development. So I'm intrigued by the quote unquote witness protection idea, kind of the Hoid is a person of interest for the Grand Cosmere, and so wife noped out. Twins maybe didn't nope out. Twins were maybe, hey, we'd like to get involved, or we'd like to stay involved, and so I think all of these people are knowledgeable and Cosmere aware and powerful in their own. I mean, Starling brings all of them as potential, like, oh, hey, have you reached out to them to rescue you from this prison you have found yourself in?
Mm-hmm.
And so I like that they are potentially all out there doing their own things, being powerful, being knowledgeable, and we just probably have not intersected with any of them because the Cosmere is big.
Can I ask a question?
Yes.
I also have an idea, but a question A. So are they divorced? Did she forget about him and he considers the relationship as over? Or is he cheating on her with Yasna if they've been married since way back when?
I wanted to know when you were thinking about this. Like, how long ago are we talking here?
Not Shattered. So I think Dragonsteel is the Medalentorius relationship. I don't want to say before, so probably after, like post Shattering, but like closer to Shattering than recent times.
Okay.
It's going to be somebody he's known for a long time too, and
that's what I
more recent book has married.
And here's my idea. Here's my pitch. And could be totally off base. We don't really know the mechanics of how the Shattering happened. This is clearly what we wanted to get into in this episode.
Yeah, that's great. That's great.
No, bear with me. I'm going to keep it brief. I'm going to keep it brief. But so because we know Hoid was meant to take up a shard, but didn't,
Yep.
And he was holding a Dawn shard. Was he holding all the Dawn shards? Was he not holding all the Dawn shards? Was he, like, who was in the circle? Who was out of the circle? Who was meant to hold things up? How this happened? No one knows.
Yeah.
Were there other people there also holding individual Dawn shards? Was Hoid holding one and there were three others there? Could a person like that be somebody? Like, are there other ancient Dawn Shard holders? Is what I'm getting at. Which one of which could potentially be somebody who could be a candidate for Hoid's wife. That's why that was the tangent, Eric. See, I avoided it completely.
I'm just imagining Hoid marrying a mural, and it's very funny. Sorry,
no,
that's not what you mean.
Mural,
but
not the mural.
I think that's a great question.
Yeah.
The way he talks about it in Tress is that he says, I and 16 others did this thing.
You're right. That's true.
Yeah. Oh, right. So your question was, is it 16 people plus 4? Right. And it doesn't tend to seem
or
that
at least up to 4. But the way he talks about it, it seems like he is he's the odd one out. And then and then the 16 original vessels.
And Frost is like, wait, no, in the background.
Yeah,
I don't know.
but it's like we know that something didn't go according to plan. So there's room for some sort of asymmetry. There were 16. I assume they planned on 16 shards, and there were 17 people were somehow involved. So how that aligns,
And also like where the Dawn shards went and stuff, right? Like like what exactly happened there is super unclear.
I think I would actually, and I don't know how significantly you meant that, but they were planning on 16 shards is a statement I would argue against. I don't feel like they were planning on shards at all. I think they were planning to divvy up Adonalsium's power between themselves.
Fair enough.
I don't think 16 was a significant number. It was, we just happened to be 16. Or like, I don't know, maybe they were like, there's 17 of us. We're going to divvy up Adonalsium's power between us. And then in the last minute, Hoid's like, I'm out. I don't want.
Such a large amount of people for your secret plot to kill God. That's such a large amount of people.
Well,
you need a lot of people to kill God.
I don't know, man. That just feels like God will figure it out. I don't know.
that was my downside to adding 3 more people. So I was like, now it's a 20-person plot against God.
Yeah, that's just too many people in the conspiracy plot to kill God.
Hoid's attack in dethroned God tweet just got too many likes is the problem.
Here's the real tragedy as far as I consider it, which is there's a real dearth of good candidates for being Hoid's wife among like the powerful women of the Cosmere. I'm like,
yeah, true.
Assuming it's not the Admiral.
That would be wild. That would be insane.
She seems like her type. I don't know.
Not the Elantrian woman who hates him. Like I'm trying to think of like, probably not Vivenna, who's maybe hopefully not Vivenna, I would say.
Yeah, Vivenna went with Vasher. Vivenna married Vasher. We all know this.
Yeah,
of course.
Yeah, Vivenna did the Doctor Who thing.
Disclaimer. We think that this is not officially confirmed, but anyway.
No, there's a possibility at the end of Warbreaker that a Vasher Vivenna thing could have happened in the sequel that we
don't know.
Yes,
we know.
Yes. The important thing is we don't like we meme about it. We don't know that for a fact.
Yes.
Yeah.
The problem is a lot of the powerful women of the Cosmere have sense and standards, and so they just don't want to deal with Hoid.
Well, I mean, that is a good point.
It's not you, it's me. I have standards.
And Hoid would be like, that's fair, actually. That actually makes a lot of sense.
Yeah, you're right.
That's a good point. I was not present enough in this relationship, so that makes sense.
I will now go off and resurrect my prom date.
Yeah, and the dragons still like him. And so they're kind of all out as candidates.
Well, I mean, and to be fair, Hoid dated a dragon, Valor. Maybe Valor's been poisoning the well among the other dragons. Be like, this guy, we're bringing it back. We're bringing it back to Valor. I agree.
And, circling.
Oh yeah, go ahead. You go ahead.
And circling back to what this matches what I was saying earlier is whatever ends up happening, I really don't want her to end up as a princess in a tower.
Absolutely
where Hoid has to go rescue her. Hoid has to save her. Like, I really want her to have her own volition and to do things because this is how she wants to do things because these are her goals. Not, I tried to save her and she lost her memory and that sucks. Like, she doesn't have any autonomy there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's true. I feel like this is one of the things where I'm inclined to trust in Brandon. I feel like he doesn't often write princesses in towers, right? And this is a gut feeling. I haven't really thought about that in this context, but I feel like his female characters are really like self-driven and autonomous, even if what they are looking for is a Charlie.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's super valid. I agree I think the wife is someone we've never met before. Maybe I could be wrong for sure about that, but I think this is a new character. I don't think this is like thousands of years ago. I do not believe that at all. I think it's post.
Out of curiosity, do you have a reason for that, or does that just that like vibe with?
I just think they would have come up at some point if it was too much earlier. Like we see Hoid's apprentices, and Brandon's been talking about Hoid's apprentices, and there's Starling and Sigzil and someone else, presumably. He's talking about he's making organizations like Worldbringers, World Singers, and World Spinners, which maybe we should talk about slightly, because we're just talking about Hoid now.
Yeah.
Guess that's what we're doing. But I just feel like this is describing people who are fairly competent, who could get Hoid out of this situation, and if they were around during Stormlight, like Hoid just comes across as being very much a loner doing his own thing. And this is a different sort of Hoid where he's not necessarily off doing his own thing, at least when he like actually had said family. So I don't get the impression that they've existed for thousands of years.
I could see that, Eric. I feel like early Hoid vibes are very much like solo guy working alone, and only in these secret project novels do you get this constellation of characters that seem to exist around him. He picks up design in Stormlight, and Sigzil is like a recent addition there. Starling will not be born yet, for some time. So I could definitely see that just being like a Hoid character pivot, where he kind of moves from trying to do stuff alone to getting more attachments, at a certain point.
It seems like a growth thing that like post.
He's got Ulam too.
Oh yeah.
I see that as like it's fascinating. I look at the same pile of evidence.
Okay.
And my conclusion is almost entirely 180 degrees opposite. I feel like he started off as less of a loner.
Okay.
And then as life and tragedy wore him down, he became more of a loner. And it is only in recent years that he has started accepting people back into his life.
Sure.
And I think one of the reasons I think that is the Wind and Truth, like Ashen vision, where Navani speaks with him, and Hoid comments. He like Simulacra Hoid comments on himself. Maybe I should find the actual.
Oh, when he's like, I was only X hundred years old then, like that sort of moment.
Yeah. I'm not gonna go look for the quote, but it's he effectively says, "Oh, I was so young back then." And back then, what was he doing? He was much more of a meddler. He was sharing his knowledge. Maybe he was manipulating people. Maybe he was just genuinely like trying to help them or show them things or whatever. But like he felt more involved with people as opposed to with his own goal.
That's fair. I think part of go ahead.
I was going to say, I think that's totally fair. I wouldn't characterize it as the opposite. Just I wasn't speaking so much about his early character arc, just more from like what we've seen of. I think I wasn't thinking about the Wind and Truth Epigraph specifically, just more like Elantris through like the present timeline. He's gone from, I think, seeming to be working relatively alone to having a wider team. But I wasn't speaking so much about his early personality.
No, I was coming from the same angle as Evgeni with, it's. I imagine him as somebody who has a whole ton of secrets at this point. I mean, he's built up a lot of secrets at this point. I feel like it would have been easier for him to be close to someone before he had quite so many secrets, and to have someone like kind of grow along with him and be a part of those secrets developing.
Yeah,
And we see later on with Yasna that was very difficult for him because he had so much. Where does he even start with explaining everything?
I just think it makes more sense for it to be a character arc thing that he's grown from Yasna. Like, it just feels weird to me that Hoid would have even gotten into a relationship with Yasna if there is a person who is his wife who he had children with, and you know, just has her memories gone. Like that seems worse to me. I don't love that. And so I would prefer, and so maybe this is my desire creeping in of my hopes for what this could be for a, let's say, better Hoid relationship than Hoid Yasna. Maybe that's, you know.
Well, I mean, I think it was better for a while, and then for whatever reason, she walked out of it.
Well,
could be. It's a lot to hang on. Her not know, you know, like she doesn't remember it now. You know, like it's really tough to say.
I mean,
imagine you're dating somebody, you wake up in the middle of the night to them jumping up, and suddenly they change their face to look like somebody else. Like, and you've never seen this face before? That's gotta be shocking.
But I think that's why we're not pitching like a Yasna type person as being Hoid's wife, you know, because that, like, she is somebody who that's shocking to. But you could, you know, if you're somebody who's been around a time or two, you're like, oh, what was that? Was that Aeon Door? You know, like, it's not really that alarming.
I guess I'm just imagining a character arc where Hoid's grown from this relationship that we've seen, and that he is a bit more mature and he's finally willing to let someone into his life, and then it still goes badly, which is funny, just funny to me. Like, and the Cosmere is a big place. I suppose it is possible that the wife and the twins have been around for a long time. I just think it's probably more recent. That's what I think. But I think we need a new character here.
Yeah, I think part of it is just the casualness of it, where she's just like, well, what about your wife? You know, and I'm like, how come at no point has Owen been, well, what about your wife, Hoid? You know, like, or just like anybody at any point who would, you know, have a right to know, you know, no one in any letters has ever referenced a wife, you know,
and that's kind of why I think it's more recent. Starling's been around him and studied under him for quite some time, so Starling would be aware, maybe have met these people, right?
Mm-hmm. Frost isn't saying, go home to your wife, Hoid, leave Rashar alone, you know, like... Yeah, I think it makes more sense. It is interesting to think about the power asymmetry, so like someone who is much older would count, but like, didn't Hoid say things where it's like, oh yeah, there's not very many options that are my age, you know? Yeah.
And so...
Yeah, he has said that.
So like that still just doesn't make me think he got married and had kids. I don't know. It seems like this is after a lot of the stuff we've seen.
I think he talks about Rashar specifically in that context.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
yeah, he does.
Maybe, you know, here's a dark horse candidate, guys. We have Vothwa, I think, who is a fuse that Hoid danced with long ago that is mentioned in the Oathbringer epilogue. Maybe, you know, later some fused, you know, get on Hoid's side, you know.
Oh, see, no, I was thinking, Eric, they already were married and she's forgotten because she's been reincarnated so many times that her mind is gone.
Okay, that's I actually kind of dig that, to be honest.
No, that's not the kind of person who would be useful for when Hoid gets stuck in some dragon prison off-world somewhere.
Maybe it's fine after Stormlight 10, Evgeni. I don't know. No, I probably
who knows
not,
what the fuse go on to do?
I mean,
probably
Heralds? Rest. I would hope they rest. Same with the Heralds, to be honest, after this cycle of desolations and stuff and whatever is going on there.
The way they talk about how they want to be able to finally die makes me feel like they're not going to be able to.
Well, yeah. But certainly, post Stormlight 10, yeah, probably the Fused are not around to assist. I do think that's possible, but I just had to pitch another canonical person that I didn't necessarily have a relationship, but he did dance with her. So there.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
all
maybe
remember.
someone else at those parties, back in the day in the great cities of the.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think when that would have been,
Yeah. Maybe it's just more explicable to me, so we don't have another Lord Ruler's Children situation where it's like, oh yeah, these people have existed for thousands of years. What have they been doing? Don't worry about it. I'm like, oh my God, I can't even. And so like, if it's later in the timeline, then I don't have to worry about that. And like, yes, the Cosmere is a big place. That's fine. But Hoid is already doing too much father figure stuff with people who aren't his children. He needs some time to actually be a father figure at some point to his actual kids, who it doesn't seem like his kids hate him, right? Like they're an option, right? To get help for Hoid. Like, I'm sure it's a complicated relationship because Hoid's involved, but at the same time, it is not a no contact situation with them, as we said, and they could potentially help Hoid. I think if you're an absent father for 5,000 years, that would probably be different. I don't know.
Time heals all wounds.
Oh, yeah, it sure does.
I know. You literally have endless time. He's like, sorry, still couldn't make time.
God. It's like we can't even have time in the spiritual realm to play, Papa. No, I have stuff to do.
He totally.
Oh my gosh! No, Dalinar doing that. Like, oh, we'll play swords sometime, but I'm just too busy right now. Drove me nuts in Wind and Truth.
It is true. Like, I would like to see Hoid in a relationship that at some point was happy and kind of okay, and he was trying. That's what I want.
Yeah, and I'm pitching that to you
just thousands of years ago.
9,000 years in the past. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And he got worse, and he's only now getting better.
Yeah. Okay.
Do we think it could be one of the heralds?
No. That'd be.
That's like a group though that's plausible,
Sorry, I'm just imagining Hoid being Shallan's stepdad, and it's very funny. It's very funny to me.
She would be so salty about that. That'd be funny as hell.
I do think going from Lynn to Hoid is an upgrade for Chana, so good for her.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. That's a tough one.
Going from Lynn to anything else is an upgrade.
I mean, to be fair, the Heralds have a lot of lived experience. Whether that's a positive experience, like you don't have that power asymmetry. I know we were kind of memeing, but like, I'm not saying that that's out of the question, assuming, Kaladin gives them some real good therapy, maybe. But maybe Hoid's like, you know what? I do like someone who's crazy. Hoid seems like the type who would like that, to be honest. I don't know.
We already had a win for monster lovers earlier in the episode.
Yeah. It's like, ooh, you're so complicated.
Yeah, it's kind of hurtful to call a herald a monster. No. No. But no, Eric, I think that's the best set of candidates that you've come up with so far. No. If I'm being honest, is that but like, no, for real, like you're like, okay, we've got these immortals that are like, assuming they survive the events of Stormlight, are gonna be around doing whatever they're gonna be doing, that are no longer bound to Rashar.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna survive though.
No, I don't think they're gonna survive.
I don't know. I feel like a random like rogue herald is exactly the sort of character that might appear in the concluding events of Brandon Sanderson's Cosmere. That seems.
I absolutely expect them to survive.
They're too powerful.
I don't know. I just think
everybody's becoming too powerful. They're making guns that can kill shards in Emberdark. Like not really, but you know what I mean. Like everything's getting OP. Is kind of where Brandon's heading with some of this.
Shallan did that drawing of Kalak, and I totally expect to see that happen.
Mm-hmm.
I want that. the heralds have had so many thousands of years of being not great that I do like immortals finally getting a chance to rest. And Hoid has objectively had an easier time than the heralds or the fused. Those groups, they're not doing great. That said, Chana being with Hoid and being Shallan's stepdad is very funny. I mean, the WOB says Hoid's children. Doesn't say stepchildren, but I mean, you could say that's stepchildren, but
yeah, he's not much of a father to Shallan at the end of the day.
Well, I mean, hey, who's to say?
Yeah, no, but like, I really do like. I don't disagree that like at the end of Stormlight, will heralds that want to rest be given the chance to rest? I think absolutely. Do they have to all die?
That's true.
I think the answer to that is no. And it would be kind of a disappointing if they were like, and Kaladin's like, I would have lived to this age naturally, but now I'm going to fade off into dust because the heralds are dying.
And Shauna's just like, Hoid, I just love you so much. I can't die. Yeah. I need to stay.
I can't die.
Yeah. No, I think someone like the heralds is a viable category for Hoid's wife.
Or if
there had been like an ancient Yokohijo, you know what I mean? Somebody like that. A return. There wasn't, but there could have been.
Yeah. So Bonnie, you had one more thing with Hoid's wife that you wanted to do?
Yes. We also haven't discussed the possibility about Hoid's wife being design. I don't know that I think this is the case, but I think it's appropriate to bring that up as a possibility.
David's reaction to this is amazing.
We have now done so, and we can move on.
Hey, look.
All right.
Look, I'm not saying it's impossible,
I think that I have given a lot to the Silladin shippers of the world in that I even came so far as to be a slight proponent of it. So I'm not inherently opposed to human spread relationships. But the vibes on Hoid design are not romantic. And so I just don't think that is very likely. I think is she referenced in this book? I'm trying to recall. I feel like there was some sort of thing. Maybe I'm wrong.
I don't think this one.
No, she appeared. Doesn't Starlight see her on her coat?
She was in this one.
She was sitting there. So I don't think that, is it possible that what Brandon is saying is that design is right there and she doesn't remember that she's Hoid's wife and she's in the scene?
That's a fair point.
Maybe, but I don't think so.
That's a lot of technically this is possible.
Yeah. In a way I find unsatisfying. So I'd say probably not.
Well, and importantly, design would not be able to help Hoid get out of where Hoid's trapped.
Because she's there, which would be another relevant point to bring up, unless Hoid also doesn't want his wife to know that she was his wife, and he's in favor of the situation.
Unclear, like she's there with him in the spiritual realm. She doesn't have to be with him in whatever trap he is in.
Yeah, I guess that's true. I feel like that.
But that is already more thought we are dedicating to this. That's
true. That's true. We're like, what are the mechanics? Would she appear in the Spirit Shores if she was somewhere else, but they're still bonded?
That's really what people wanted from this episode.
Yeah,
here,
absolutely.
Clearly. Bonnie, I believe you were saying that this is you Unchained today. You're like, I can go in every direction conceivable.
That's a good one, though. I hadn't thought of it.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it's someone else, Hoid's wife. That's my thought.
Yep. Yeah. My final thoughts are: I don't think we've met either the wife or the twins.
Yeah.
I like that it's twins, though. Like it's got like a nice like mythological kind of element to it.
That's true.
Hoid is this sort of trickster god. Like I think there could be some interesting stuff there. If Brandon chooses to kind of get them in there. Maybe they're both ravens. That'd be kind of cool.
I mean, we do have bird people now, so
We do have. They're both lawn arcs.
Wife is a
lawn arc.
I mean, look, the lawn arcs.
The book where we are introduced to the lawn arcs is also the book where we're introduced to Hoid's wife.
There you go. There you
He's
go.
a feathers
Right
guy.
there.
He's a feathers
what
guy.
Can you say?
Case closed.
Wild.
Oh my god.
I do have a mighty need to talk about something else.
I'm just trying to think if there's any other Hoid's twins thing to say, but I think it's hard to say because we know so little. Unless we want to get into fanfic land of how that relationship works, which I don't know if I want to.
The only thing I have to say about them is it's interesting to consider at what point in his life he had them, because it would impact what they, like what powers they might have access to. Because I assume they're probably most likely strong Mistborn, just being the direct children of a Lerasium Mistborn. Like, it is a Lord Ruler's Kids 2.0 type situation in that way.
If they were post that.
If they were post, but if they were post that, assuming that is true,
Oh
maybe
God.
they're just really weak light weavers, and that's what they got.
Maybe just the powers interfere and it's fine, just like the Lord Ruler's children for some reason. I don't know, but
The problem with the Lord Ruler's children is that they could have potentially had access to both Allomancy and Ferrochemy. It's not that any individual powers is a problem.
I'm just thinking, if Hoid has so many powers and so many things happening in his spiritual DNA, there could be some sort of interplay that's weird that makes them not necessarily Lerasium Mistborns. Maybe. But,
certainly.
But I would tend to think that connection to preservation, if it can exist for over 1,000 years, then it'd be pretty strong in the immediate next generation. That would be my assumption.
They're at least going to get a misting power, right? Like, come on.
No. I feel like that even with all the other nonsense that's going on in his soul, his children would be powerful Mistborn.
So I think this narrows down the timeline for when these children can be born, because either they were born long ago when Hoid did not have Mistborn powers, or two, it's so far in the future that Allomancy is sufficiently democratized that it doesn't really matter if they're Mistborn.
If Allomancy is sufficiently democratized such that everyone is effectively an Lerasium Mistborn at all times, that will be
I don't think it's
world to exist in.
That they're necessarily Lerasium Mistborn, but
that's true. They're one generation removed from Lerasium Mistborn.
The Maoish don't have, like, they have access to powers, but they don't have, like, they're not using everything all the time.
Oh, I guess I more mean it's still a very different situation than we're exiting Era 2, right? Where the technology is vastly
attack them.
A potential Hoid child in Era 2 is a very different thing than in the space age. That's more what I mean when you have spaceships that can replicate said abilities in some respects, right? Yeah. Like I'm sure Mistborn powers are very good and would still be quite special, but it's not necessary.
The other thing that we can throw out here, since we're just leaning into this Hoid episode,
great.
Glad that this worked out. I won. No, on my fake Hoid's wife episode argument.
That you had with no one, but you foreshadowed and ruined my intro, and that turns out to be what it was.
A win is a win.
A win is a win. That, like, would they have any of his essential, like his torment, like his dawn sharpness, depending on when he had them, like that sort of, like, his weird connection to everything. Like, that's another thing that I was kind of curious about, because there could be some interesting stuff there.
And that's ultimately a Brandon thing, right? We understand that. We kind of understand how Mistborn hereditary rules work. We don't really understand. I mean, like, presumably they wouldn't have his Aeon Door because Aeon Door is not hereditary in that way.
Yep.
Everything else is just kind of whatever Brandon decides, really.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure. No, I'm not thinking like, oh, well, like, we can't predict what will happen. It's more that I'm like, okay, so we might be looking for people who can't eat meat, or maybe some people with pale hair, like Hoid. Like, if you're like trying to poke
Sure.
these characters out if they
Yeah.
happen in
I think there's
the
some
background.
some ability for things like the torment, like maybe they have like a lesser version of that. Like maybe they could fight sometimes, but like it's difficult or something like that. Like I think that's a possibility. That's not unreasonable.
You're talking things to watch for. So in future books, if we see these characteristics, we might question: is this one of his kids?
Potentially.
Is
You
it
know, that'd be a
Hoid or
great
one
thing
of
to
his
do.
kids?
Yeah, that'd be really funny if some of the white-haired men we were hearing about in like these various stories, like were not actually Hoid, but were his children. That's another. There's evidence for the past children theory.
Yeah. That would at least help me with that for sure. Yeah. Interesting.
I wouldn't hate the idea of some of the Dawn Shard spiritual effects translating down to his children, and like, here's a free immortality, essentially.
That's too. Yeah.
At the very least.
And that's not counting whatever his wife has for abilities.
Yeah.
I mean, Hoid presumably has enough breath. I mean, or could get access to enough breath to give them functional immortality, right?
Yeah. And I don't think children of heralds generally have immortality.
No. Yeah. Well, the Dawn Shard's a different thing, but
yeah.
that is interesting. So I guess this episode has turned into, we talked about Hoid's wife and Hoid and Emberdark. So maybe we'll just talk a little bit, a few other things that were Hoid related on this list, which was mostly not about Hoid, but that's what this episode turned into. So great. But Hoid's trapped inside a vault, and it opens once in a very long time, and he thought he could get his way out. Again, very little information that we have, but do we have any thoughts on what that means or anything like that?
It's hard for me to think that everything that's happening to Hoid in the background of these like side stories that Brandon is telling is ultimately going to be like all that relevant, you know?
Sure.
Like him getting Aeon Door is relevant.
Yeah,
Him being on Komashi, not so much. You know, his appearance in Sunlit Man was very minor, you know. So it's kind of, so like I think sometimes sometimes it's going to be important and sometimes it's not, and so it's hard to tell, just kind of how important this moment is. I think that he probably, what do you value enough to go into like a vault that's like that? If you're Hoid, like you can throw out a Dawn Shard as a possibility. We already kind of have a Dawn Shard vault in this book that's referencing a different Dragon Dawn Shard vault.
It's probably not that here. It's hard for me to think of something that's not like a Dragon Vault, though, because I feel like we haven't typically seen this. This feels like the sort of things in The Hobbit where it's like, the door opens once in every crazy astronomical
when
BS
the moon
type
shines
things
on the lock.
And like we typically haven't seen Magitech like that. It's interesting because if Hoid has design, like he would have a blade, so that definitely narrows down the possibilities of.
Yeah, but aluminum.
Yeah, but like would aluminum let him go to the spirit shores? I don't know. Like aluminum would have a lot of effects. I feel like
probably not.
Could be made of dragon steel.
Could be made of dragon steel,
just like the vault where the Dawn Shard is kept, which is mentioned in a different part in the same book.
That's like that high fantasy sort of vault. The dragons kind of have that more like high fantasy feel. So that's why I go there. But it's certainly not the Dawn Shard vault or an equivalent. An equivalent thing that holds a Dawn Shard.
Where my brain went, and I don't think this trail leads anywhere that I like, but My real answer is I think this is just something completely unrelated to anything else we've seen before, completely brand new. It's possibly even just a throwaway thing. It doesn't even matter, right?
Just to make sure he's not in the story for this story.
Yeah. This is Brandon throwing, Hoid is stuck in a bad place. This time it's not a call track, it's a vote.
Yeah, sure.
If I were to approach this from the perspective of, okay, but what if I am not a reasonable person and this actually mattered? A vote that opens once in a very long time. Periodicity. Where else have we seen something that happens once in a very long time?
The Well of Ascension?
Well of Ascension.
Jeez.
This doesn't have to be the Well of Ascension, but it could be a similar Shardic well, perpendicularity pool of power that refills over time.
And you can only open when the perpendilarity is full.
When someone has used the power, or something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting because would he be? I wonder if he'd be trapped in that case. Would he be trapped in Shadesmar? In a little would he be trapped in the spiritual realm himself? In a spot like that? I don't know where Ruin, because Ruin kind of both was and wasn't trapped. It was like a prison of will. But that's an interesting thought.
There is no part of me that believes this is the case.
Good, great. I mean, that's great for this episode. That's on brand for this one.
For the sake of we are analyzing 3 lines, let's explore the possibility space. A shard pool is within the possibility space.
For sure.
Realistically, it's probably closer to the when the celestial body alignment hits just right, or some nonsense like that.
Mm-hmm. The other thought that I had, taking kind of a different approach, was something like an invention thing, like a time, like a time lock bank vault type deal, where you can't open it except at certain hours. That's the thing that we have in the modern times as well. And so he's in there stealing something big, and he's like, oh crap, okay, this was invention's fault, and I got stuck in here. Whoopsie, and can't quite figure out a way out.
Sure. There's zero justification or support, but I'm going to go with facts. Because
facts?
Nailed it.
You're stuck on facts?
Yeah, sure.
Stuck on facts. My other thought was, we've seen Hoid try to break in and steal something in Dragonsteel Prime.
That's true.
He stole the scepter. That's a good thing. That's one thing. He's stolen artifacts.
I was
before.
thinking of the Moon Scepter. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, for whatever reason, I was thinking. I think I've read Dragonsteel Prime more recently, but he and his buddy Bot Chor are looking for Dragonsteel artifacts to read. And they're breaking into a highly secure
that was fun.
I think it's a cathedral of some sort. It was a great
little sequence. That was actually a really fun sequence.
Yeah, if you don't want to read all of Dragonsteel, but you're curious, you can just Control F Hoid and just read his chapters, and it's absolutely worthwhile. Just if you want to kind of see some interesting stuff.
Because Batchor kind of has Hoid stuff. So, but yeah, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah, so I was thinking some sort of secret knowledge, that's the kind of thing that Hoid, he usually. I guess he gets artifacts, but that's the other thing I could see. That's why he wanted the Rose Scepter, is that it was some sort of Rosetta Stone of information that he could use for reasons I still don't understand.
I think secret knowledge, secret artifact is absolutely what's going on here.
Mm-hmm. Agreed.
Yeah.
Whether he was successful or not, by the way, is a separate conversation. It's possible that we're going to check in with him in 200 years and he'll be like, well, I was stuck in that thing and it was actually empty.
I successfully got into Vault. Did not have the thing I wanted. Got stuck for 50 years. Would not recommend. 1 star.
Yeah. No. I wonder here. Well, here's a tangent. Is does he? This is a great one. Well, it's relevant. What's the downside? I assume he probably has it because he would able to take it with him. Because if he has not successfully got this object or whatever he wants, if it's something that he'd carry out in his mind. Why do you not always have a bomb to blow? Can he not
I was thinking about that a minute ago.
Okay.
Actually.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think the answer is I think conventional explosives will. So the idea is you need to atomize yourself so that your consciousness transfers to,
Cell culture.
the cell culture, your backup cell culture on Scadrial or whatever, right?
Sure.
You would need conventional explosives, or even probably most invested explosives, if such a thing exists, but it probably does. They will not reduce you to less than a cell culture.
That's probably
and so
true.
You will regenerate where you are.
No, that's a fair point. I was thinking something like a division Fabrial that turns you to ash or something.
Okay.
But I think that you would his essence rejects that. So you would you really do need something that
would also count as self-harm.
Kind of that. Yeah. That's true. That's a good point. He could have design do it,
Activate the bomb design. I mean, actually design was my concern, because if it's so hard for him to get out, would design just be stuck in said box too?
That's true. And she isn't pulled with him, as we saw in the end of.
And obviously, if it's a physical thing, then this does not work anyway. So but yeah, if it is knowledge, I mean, blowing yourself up and doing that, okay, design, do it, do the thing, blow me up.
Also, there is, I mean, now that I think about it, how does memory work when you are when you are doing this kind of stuff, right? Because if you are
breaths.
So you are Hoid on Roshar, and Retribution is ascending, and you're like, oh crap, I need off this world, right?
Mm-hmm.
And Retribution notices you and comes and vaporizes you. Next thing you know, you were waking up on Scadrial in a brand new body. Do you, the implication is Hoid retained all of his or at least most of his memories.
I'd agree with that.
I think Hoid would retain the memories that he hasn't stored into, say, some object with breath. Because if it's stored into an object, for example, a copper mine.
For him,
right?
For him, it's always the decision of, hey, this last day I experienced, do I put it in long-term storage? In which case, I don't have. I mean, surely those are just backups, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to say, because wasn't part of the point with the Heralds that they had too much in their mind? So Hoid. So I mean, yes, they're backups, but Hoid is never getting all of that all at once in a way. Right?
Okay, so it's probably copper mines, right?
In breath copper mines, some analogous thing, right? But probably the core memories are attached to Hoid's soul, and that's what's moving, some spiritual cognitive shenanigans stuff. But,
so let's say every day he obviously doesn't dump every day into memory, but every day he has to make, or not every day, but he has to make a decision. Do I keep this in my head, or do I keep this in my magic? And if I keep it in my head, that is a strain over time, but obviously I can access that at any point of time. And if I die, this was in my head, I get to keep that. Versus if I put it in magic storage, then I don't have ready access to it. If I die, I can still access those if I can find them.
Assuming you're not literally vaporized and you can find the object.
But that was
right?
I guess in that case, the only problem is Reyes was able to just pull those memories out of his head. And the problem was they were not in long-term storage. Right? That was the problem at the end of Rhythm of War. He went and... sorry, not Reyes, Travengean.
So they were going into breath because that was what he was interfering with the breaths, right?
Was that what it was?
That was happening.
Weren't the breaths
that's why
interfered with?
That's why he was able to do what he did, was because it was in breath.
Yeah.
So I think that like I think he's probably got some sort of complex thing going, like, complex like thing going on in his head where he's using breath as memory. Some of that is accessible to him at all times. Some of it is going into deep storage just because he can't have access to everything at all times. But he's probably got more on his mind than the average person can really have anyway, sure. Because it seems like short-term events are going in there if raids can mess with them. As we can double check that, but that is my recollection of how it worked.
Yeah, because it's like it's not like he was storing the experience of him talking with Odium there, and like we get that time loop thing.
Well, I think that's what happened. Like, what is the alternative explanation?
And I think that's the thing that I'm trying to reconcile here is we have End of Rhythm of War versus End of Wind and Truth. Both of these deal with Hoid's memory of recent events. In Rhythm of War, it is his memory of his interaction with Teravangian, with Odium. In both of them, it's his interaction with Teravangian. In Wind and Truth, it is his memory of, I just pissed off a duo shard and I got vaporized. Why is it, the thing that I'm trying to reconcile is, why is it that in Rhythm of War, his recent memories were susceptible to being manipulated, and in Wind and Truth, he retained those?
So what is the memory that we are concerned that he retained in Wind and Truth? Like that's what I'm missing. The memory of his destruction.
Yeah, his destruction, his retributions, ascension. The past 15 minutes essentially.
So this is what I think is different: is that I don't think that his breaths were destroyed or meaningful disrupted in any way by what Raze did to him in that moment. Like that, like Raze tried to unmake him. It did not work. Hoid's soul persisted with its breaths and was sucked over to where his body was and reassembled. Okay. And so, and those breaths live in his mind, and he's constantly putting things into long-term storage, putting things into short-term storage, moving things around, and has set up a complex system that allows him to know a lot more in present day than your average person would be able to, and put things into long-term storage, including potentially recent events or yada yada. But he's using it for recent memory too.
I'll add on to that too, is that he was expecting it this time around, whereas
he was
back in, was it Rhythm of War?
It was Rhythm of War.
Yeah, Rhythm of War he wasn't expecting because he still thought it was Raze. He didn't realize it was Teravangian yet. Okay. This time around, he literally ran to Sigzil, knowing that he was about to get destroyed, and gave him the Dawn Shard. Like, he knew this was coming. He actively made preparations to be vaporized.
Yeah, that's probably true too.
So he would have had time to do something, potentially.
Okay.
I guess I was thinking of the breaths were like in an object, but yeah, it doesn't need to be the case. Like they could just be chilling on his soul, and he's like using them for a particular purpose.
Mm-hmm. He's got a breath flash drive.
Mm-hmm.
And in Rhythm of War, Teravangian was able to poke around that flash drive and modify the data.
Yes.
And then in Wind and Truth, he destroyed all of it, and then the flash drive kind of regenerated alongside Hoid with all the contents intact.
Mm-hmm. If it's attached to his soul.
Yeah, because I assume what happened is basically like what happened to Kelsier, what Rune did to Kelsier in Mistborn Secret History, but to a greater degree, where he like kind of attacks at one point, and Kelsier's soul is sort of like falling apart, but he doesn't do the full thing, so he just sort of comes back together. And Hoid has got a much more resilient soul and was probably torn into much smaller pieces, but it's just like his friend.
It is interesting though, in Rhythm of War, Teravangian is saying, let me see, I cannot harm you, but here you've used this other investiture to store your memories, haven't you? Because you've lived longer than a mortal should. You need to put the excess memories somewhere. I can't see your mind, but I can see these, can't I? For the first time in a long, long while, Wit felt true terror. If Odium destroyed the breaths that held his memories, I don't believe this will cause you actual harm, Odium said. Yes, it seems my predecessor's agreements will allow me to. And it is just an interesting sequence because he's manipulating the breaths. It's just interesting because I wouldn't imagine things that Hoid is experiencing literally right now are excess memories. Like, I would think that's more deep storage, and yet it's, I don't know. And Odium's manipulating the deep storage, but that's affecting him right now. So it must be a more complex, like, interchange of mind stuff and storing it into the breaths in a way.
Yeah. I mean, I'm certainly on board with him having a system where things go directly into breath or directly into mind or from mind into breath. Like, I can buy essentially any combination of how that works.
Hoid's had so much experience. Yeah.
Here's what he says, which is kind of interesting too, and I think he doesn't really mention long-term storage actually.
Okay.
Let's see. I have lived a very long time, Yasna, longer than a mortal mind can track. So I store memories in something called breath, an easily accessible, if costly form of investiture a person can adopt and with training use to expand their soul. I periodically review my memories, something that can be jettisoned. I periodically review my memories, deciding what can be jettisoned. In my review just now, I found something unexpected, something terrifying. 3 minutes, 27 seconds missing. Yada,
okay.
Yada. So it sounds like he throws stuff out constantly.
Well, it seems like he's constantly putting his mind into the breath, and then he has to review to jettison. It's like, okay, I don't need that stuff. Get it out of here. And like, he's periodically reviewing them. Okay, so that's a different... Turns out when you look at the quotes, hey, what do you know? But
hey, well, you know, there you go. Nobody's perfect.
So that's interesting, but I guess it's still interesting that Odium could have. Hoid's worried in Rhythm of War that Odium could destroy said breaths that held the memories.
That's true.
Which is kind of interesting because you'd expect if that's occurring, Odium's probably nuking everything he possibly can in a single moment. But Teravangian might not know how to do that. Like if it's attached to his soul or something. I don't know.
I think that part of it too is like what's happening in Rhythm of War is that Hoid is like, he's still under the shield of the agreement, you know? So he's like, I think I'm good. You know, I've got this backup plan that I think will keep me and my soul okay, but I think I'm good because I'm under the shield of this bark. I'm not even worried about it, you know? And then he realizes there's a hole into which like his memory, you know, there's a little hole where he can be manipulated slightly. But later when we see him, he's like, oh my gosh, I'm fully vulnerable. You know, like as far as he's aware, he could die, his breaths could be destroyed. Like he doesn't know what will happen when Raze, you know, when Raze destroys him. They could be destroyed. You know, he could wake up with maybe no memory or like very little memory of what's going on, but he hasn't tested it yet. And so he tests it here and he finds out that it.
I think part of his plan there was to goad Teravangian into atomizing him instead of like thoroughly going through his soul.
Oh, yes. Sure. Mm-hmm. That's probably ultimately because Retribution could have looked through all those breaths. Like maybe Hoid did some adjustments in Wind and Truth to be more resilient to that. But
they put a password protection on them, you know, after that.
He's goading Teravangian, and Teravangian's just like, this is my ascension of ultimate power. Nope, I get to Divine Smite people. That's great. I'm gonna do that, which relatable, you know, I get that.
Yeah. And like also not something that you'd expect that Hoid would survive that. Like again, you know what I mean? Like he swats at him and atomizes him and is like, got that guy. You know, he's not like, oh, I bet he's got a culture of soul somewhere.
Yeah, Teravangian would not understand that, right?
Yeah.
But like, well, the next time Teravangian sees Hoid, Teravangian will be more careful next time. That's for sure.
Round 3.
I bet.
No, I would not want to meet him again. Like,
no,
I think
ever. That would be so bad. But I mean, presumably we're going to see Hoid in back half Stormlight. Like, I think that must be the case.
Well, hopefully it's going to be more careful.
Yeah, just the lowest profile ever. Like back to Elantris level cameos where he's just like, there's some guy in the background who we're like, that guy's Hoid though. You don't know.
Yeah.
But
some guy with he's got a hat and like a glued on mustache.
Mm-hmm. Leading the terrorist refugees again, totally anonymously.
No, they'll be different refugees. They're refugees coming from Odium's empire into Azir, obviously. Come on, David.
Oh God, yeah, that'll be great.
We'll see
Can they
some,
cross borders? I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see some
I know.
footprints at some point.
We'll see some
Yeah.
footprints at some point. Yes. Well, guys, I think that's a great time to end this. We barely talked about anything in this 8-page document that Bonnie.
Hey, we talked
Created.
about 3 bullet points out of what looks to be 15. So join us for the next 3 months for the rest of this series.
I wasn't sure if we would look at some of these mysteries and be like, I don't know, I don't have any thoughts. That's this. And then I think it's easy with Hoid for us to bring in lots of stuff from lots of different places, as we repeatedly did this episode. Whereas that will be harder for Star Tattoo Guy.
It sounds
Star
like a
Tattoo Guy
challenge.
he does not have extensive lore, unfortunately.
I mean, you say that, but I've seen the way Bonnie talks about Star Tattoo Guy. I'm not I have concerns about when we get to talk about that.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry for the intro being just objectively wrong for what this episode turned out to be. The title's different now. It's not Emberdark Mysteries. It's something with Hoid in the title, that's for sure. We'll do more Emberdark Mysteries sometime. We might do spoiler stream wobs next and more Emberdark Mysteries after that, or I might do more Emberdark Mysteries and then we do the spoiler stream wobs, but I don't know what we'll do. But we're having fun. We're really improving our craft. Really making a lot of progress on our WoW episodes, a lot of progress on our content here.
I think we need help.
I think when I was at an hour in and we said this could be a shorter episode, that I was optimistic that it would be, but now we're at 2:20 in the raw recording. But to be fair, we had a 15-minute break.
We have a problem.
I think it was good discussion. Did Hoid's memory mechanics in Wind and Truth and him being vaporized have much to do with anything? No, but we did it anyway for you.
Yeah, we might want to put a topper on this that gives people a better idea what this episode's about.
So this one was Hoid's
related.
family and Hoid stuff.
Yeah. I think you gotta set a level of speculation with me at the start, Argent. And if we're doing firm, reliable, defensible, then we'll stick to it. And if we're doing who could Hoid's wife possibly be, then we're gonna get into it.
Let's analyze all 3,500 character pages of the Cosmere in the Coppermine.
It honestly reminds me of when we did the Knights Radiant episodes where I got annoyed with Argent because Argent's like, no, I'm going to go through and for this one thing and I'm going to list which of the 10 possible Radiants and we're going to discuss for 10 minutes going through each one. And I'm like, we can just go to the one you think it is. But
important to be thorough.
We will look at every female character in category characters on the Coppermind and see who's what.
Well, that is statistically speaking a minority. So,
yeah. Well, I'm really gunning for Vothwa here.
Hey, let me tell you, I did not expect the fuse that Hoid dances with to come up in this episode, but it did.
I don't know.
I think I wrote that Coppermine article. I love Vothwa.
I didn't say it first. I'm just putting that out there.
What? Vothwa.
Vothwa. VATWHA. I think.
No, good sir, David. I wrote that Coppermine article.
Damn it. I was like, just as likely it's not me.
Good sir. I contributed the most bytes in a single time and reviewed this Coppermine article. Thank you
why
very much.
I did it? Because it was the Hoid page.
You probably put it on the Hoid page.
At some point in the historical past, prior to the events of Elantris.
Incredible.
And then you have a link to the Vothwa page that basically says the same thing. Nice.
the same fact as in the Hoid article.
We love that. We love all that. That's totally necessary. But you know what? You know what is totally necessary? It's time to go to Who's That Cosmere Character?
This character is from Roshar.
Menace, Tien,
Tom,
Braze,
Hoid in drag on a horse.
It's time for Who's That Cosmere Character? Caw.
It's Hoid's wife.
That would be really funny.
If you can get 5 facts for Hoid's wife, good luck.
Has children, female, unnamed,
Yeah.
has or had a husband.
Okay.
Just narrow down to every mother of the Cosmere. We're like, is it Finn's mom? No.
I mean, we can only hope that the wife will be named at some point, so the twins have a named mother.
Yeah, he's been better at names lately.
Like giving naming parents and things. I mean, I don't think we have Starling's parents' names.
No.
Do we even have Frost's
But that's
sister's
from the
name?
mysteries.
And
it's one of Starling's parents.
Oh yeah, no, we don't. Okay,
yeah, because he's his uncle.
Yeah.
Unc Frost.
Okay. Welcome to Who's That Cosmere Character, the game show where we send 5 clues and a character to wtcc at 17shard.com. I read each clue aloud, and after each clue, these guys have a chance to guess who's that Cosmere character. And this one is from Tag Noman on Discord. And
That sounds familiar.
it does. Clue 1. This character does not actively use investiture.
Okay, what characters can I guess? All right. Okay,
Gautona.
investiture.
Gautona? No, it's not Gautona.
What if I'm not gonna guess one of what if I guess one of Shy's personas? I'm like, well, do I want to be wrong?
Do I want to be wrong?
Eden?
It's not Evie.
Evie. Okay. What is? I want to make it. I do want to do another Emperor's Soul guess.
Okay.
What about shoot, what's her name? I forgot
Are there other? Oh, the sister?
Oh wait, no, I'm talking about this is the Emperor's wife who was killed in the assassination. Kurashina.
Oh, you want to guess?
That's what I'm guessing.
No, it's not.
Okay, I thought you wanted to guess the Bloodsealer's sister.
That's a deep.
No,
that's
I don't know. I don't think we know that.
Yeah, we know that they exist.
Oh, because they write the letters.
They're writing the letters.
That's his whole backstory.
Yeah. That's true. It's true.
I forgot about that. That would be that'd be almost too much.
Yes. Clue 2. This character has never left their planet.
I have a strong feeling suddenly that this is Stick.
Okay, is that your guess?
Yes.
It is not Stick.
What was the first one? Does not use investiture
Does not actively
use
use investiture.
and never left their planet.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, is a Condra actively use investiture?
That's a good question.
I'd say
Yeah.
yes with the blessings.
Okay.
I feel
Yeah.
like we don't go to the secret projects enough.
Okay.
So let's. God, everyone uses investiture sigils.
Yeah, it's pretty high powered for sure.
Let's go with Stile, the helmswoman.
No.
Oh, Selene.
Okay. Yeah, that one. I was gonna guess William Ann, who's the cannoneer, but then they need spores to activate the cannons.
I think it's just Anne, but yeah, you're correct.
Was it
William Ann
Ann
is the
Friendly?
is the
she's
Shadows for Samson.
daughter.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like, that is not. That would be a crazy Cosmere connection if that was William Ann. I'm like, I was crazy.
She's just got like a gray face.
That would be so-
Unrelated.
That would be crazy.
Like I changed my name, leaving part of my past behind. Well, I would like to guess William Ann because I don't believe.
Nice. I like that. Clue 3. This character was highly valued locally.
I'll take Siri.
It's not Siri. I had to restrain myself to think about if Hoid's wife had the royal locks, if that would be passed down, you know.
Oh, God. We need help.
If it was the Veta, it'd be relevant, Argent. Okay,
it's true. It's true.
Highly valued locally.
That's such an interesting way to put it.
What the hell does that mean?
Yeah,
it's like they're unobtainium, you know. Like it makes you think like valuable skill set, like to like the community or something like that. You know, we don't really have like. It's not like the Baker of Hearthstone is a character, you know.
Oh, there's a lot of random Hearthstone characters.
It could be Owls and Milf, you know, but it's probably not.
I think I've reviewed several of those Coppermine articles of random Hearthstone characters.
Well, then there's some that have kind of like the Alethi like honorific on it, so you're kind of like, is this a name or is this like mean ant? You know, you're like nah.
Sure.
What about Jeanette, the horse trainer?
Oh, who that had Dreamstorm that Kaladin wrote? Yeah.
She's highly valued in her community. She's like a great.
No, it's not Jeanette.
Okay, well,
no.
Deep Cuts, Dreamstorm, the horse.
That's like it. That's still like an aspect of the Words of Radiance plot where I'm like, what is this going for? I enjoy it. I enjoy the scene so much, but it's definitely like a little slice of life that doesn't pay off.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was just a slice of life. It was like Kaladin is now starting to interact with this world, and he's never had interactions, which is the Light Eyes world. And so he now has to deal with like dueling and training and horses and stuff like that.
I just wanted more horse stuff. Like that was really what it was. I was like, oh, he's going to get a Rhyshadium. And then like, obviously that didn't
There's still time. There's still time.
He can fly.
That's true. Yeah, it's pretty good.
It's like, you're like, what does he need a horse for?
Yeah.
The Steel Alphabet character for Eclipse, which is a rotated version of the Steel Alphabet symbol for copper.
That's the character. Your guess is
that's the character that I guess. Yes.
I mean, we have had glyphs before, so that's not outside of the realm of possibility.
I didn't know
be
that.
honest.
That's funny.
Yeah,
technically a character.
The symbol for copper is like a C, but it's tilted a little bit, and the symbol for clip is that symbol, but it's righted, so it's a lot more like a C.
All right. Clue 4. This character was stolen.
Would work for money too. Wait, okay. See, it was stolen.
Yep.
This is not a person.
No, this is a person.
Not a person.
This is a person.
That's not. Oh, that's not how you talk about a person, though. You don't steal a person. You kidnap a person.
I can confirm this is accurate.
Oh, this is a shard blade.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, that was the impression.
There's object personhood is.
Yeah.
Object person. Not object permanence, object personhood.
Yeah. It's a real issue in the Cosmere.
It's a real issue. Gotta worry about those trees.
Jezreel's honor blade.
It is not Jezreel's honor blade. Honor blades do talk.
Honor blade?
Which honor blade, Bonnie?
Hell.
It's not Talon's honor blade.
It's like oh, never mind. I'm not gonna say that. What am I thinking about? I think that like shard blade is like the right way to. It's like the right way to do it. I'm trying to think of like other stolen shard blades, and I think that like the one that Liz has an option, but I feel like that's not quite right. Like I guess Amaram shard blade. Like I'm just gonna guess that. There we go. The one he stole from Kaladin, highly valued in that moment.
No, it is not that shard blade. That is unnamed. No. Clue 5. This character got really hammered that one time.
Oh, come on. All right. Really hammered. Is it somebody that Dalinar hits with his big hammer?
With
or
his sharp
it
hammer?
his
Yeah,
big
that's
hammer?
that's
Like,
where my
what I'm
brain
thinking
went.
about. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's Dolan. Has he ever hit Sadius with it?
No comment.
He sets it on he sets it on Elgar's chest. No, that's something else. He sets a hammer on somebody's chest, doesn't he? Who does that?
No, I think he beats up Elgar to the point where he like breaks his plate,
Yeah.
so that Elgar can no longer so the plate doesn't provide its strength enhancement
Yeah.
abilities anymore, and then Elgar just like drops to the ground.
Yeah, he's poking at his chest there, though. I thought there was a scene where he sets it on somebody else, but I might be conflating it with Mjolnir. So that's also possible.
No, that doesn't sound right though.
No, maybe he like steps on him or something like that. But he doesn't have a hammer in that scene.
No, it's just a beat down.
Maybe we'll have a
Yeah,
bonus
it's just a
6
beat
clue.
down.
You know,
Okay,
Oh,
maybe.
maybe.
hammered.
This is very amusing to me.
Valuable,
Is the-
stolen.
What about? Wait, what was the? Sorry, what was the context of the hammered? Was just got.
This character got really hammered that one time.
I'm gonna guess one of the Thunder class in the Dalinar vision. They're trying to break up with hammers.
Excuse me, they have names, good sir. No, I'm gonna.
I don't think that one's named. I don't know if it's Kygarnis or Yusha of the inexplicable 2 to 3 Thunder class that exists on Roshar for no reason.
I'm gonna say it is
3.
neither Kygarnis nor Yusha of the 2 to 3 Thunder class. How about that? I eliminated 2.
Okay. There we go.
For you.
Thank you. So okay. Well,
So we got has not actively used investiture,
Yes.
has not left their planet,
Yes.
is very valuable.
Was highly valued locally.
And was stolen.
Was stolen. And got really hammered.
And hammered.
Mm-hmm.
this is one I don't feel bad about not getting because I'm like I have no idea. Like when it's on the tip of
That's
your
so
tongue,
funny.
it's frustrating.
That's so funny. Because I would have guessed. I don't know. No, I won't say anything. Sorry.
Eric's like, I would have got this one, you dumbasses.
So
No, I don't know if I would have gotten this one, to be honest. But
Veil.
it's not Veil. Yes, Bonnie?
didn't Rathen have a Scion at one point that was stolen?
He put it in a box. Yeah, I don't know if it was bound to him, but he had a little Scion in a box
Okay.
that he talked to.
Okay.
I wouldn't call that
That's my
Sion
guess.
stolen or hammered.
How do you hammer a Sion?
How
Get
do
him.
you hammer it into the box?
What
does that
he got it in
mean?
there, Eric. It didn't want to stay at first.
Like, how physical is the symbol inside the Sion? I think we need to do some impact testing to see how that goes. I'm sure they'll love that.
Like, it was ready to go 2,000
These
pounds.
are the
mean, like,
real questions
clinking
I
the
want in the
box.
Elantris sequels, okay?
All right, you can guess that.
Is that your guess, Bonnie?
Are we guessing the Sion or are we guessing Hrathen?
I don't know. What's your guess, Bonnie?
I was going to go with the Scion. No, I'm questioning that.
No,
I'll go with it. Why not?
no,
Why not?
absolutely not. Also,
Shocker.
I would say shard blades and Sions would be valued not just locally.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair.
I'm
That's
gonna-
probably
I'm-
like
Reasonable.
Oh, I have a
Okay.
No. Yes, I have another guess.
Okay.
But I'll
Well,
All
say
too
right,
bad.
cool. Well, we'll do a sixth one, and this will be your clue 6 guess. Okay, Bonnie, if you have one,
Okay.
or do you want to wait for the clue?
Oh, I'll wait for the clue.
Okay, this character is from Threnody.
hey. Oh, I know who this is. This is the bandit. It's the main guy. It's Chesterton Divide.
Yes, it is Chesterton Divide.
They beat his head in with hammers.
yeah, they do. They did get hammered.
That's true.
I forgot of. Okay, funny. But we said William Ann too. We were like in the area,
I know.
Like
It's like
For the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
I was like, oh no, I gotta play it cool, guys. I gotta play it cool.
That's funny. That's funny. I should have thought of that. That's such a brutal scene too.
And is highly valued, but just locally. If you took him somewhere else, you would.
Yeah, because
And was stolen.
he's got a bounty on his head.
Was stolen.
No, you're totally right. They stole the corpse. That's
I did.
bravo.
I did see this one, and I was like, "What are you talking about with was stolen?" But then I'm like, "Okay, I figured it out," because I did have the exact same reaction.
That's a good one. I like that one.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
That was good.
Also, I feel like most WTCC guesses are like 3 degrees of separations away from William Ann, and that makes me happy.
3? Okay, I mean, cool. This next one is sent by Twinstorm. Clue 1.
Not Dreamstorm.
Not Dreamstorm. I'm sorry. Clue 1. This character is from Roshar. So I'll help you out there.
I'm gonna guess Adelin's Uncle Toe.
No, it's not Toe. I like that.
Damn it.
It's good.
All right. You gotta start the likely ones.
Okay.
I forgot her name, but like the main vizier who was like being like acting like a mother
Nora.
to. Yeah, Nora. Yeah.
It's not Nora. Nope.
She's
I'll
great.
take Gallant.
It's not Gallant. I like that. Clue 2. This character has led an army.
Who's Gallant?
The horse.
Oh,
You're just
Gosh,
talking about
gotcha.
horses.
no, that's
Okay.
fine. I was thinking, I was like doing like a Wheel of Time thing where I was like going over there.
I
no,
see.
Yeah,
It's
sorry.
No.
Gallivant from the network show Gallivant.
Gallivant. It's Gallivant.
Go watch it. It's really good.
Okay, what was the second clue?
This character has led an army.
Okay.
Bonnie, you
This
can
is a
guess the
joke.
other horse.
This is a joke. Clearly, it's Bella.
Yeah, no. Yeah,
Non-Cosmere.
I know that's a joke.
She transcends the Cosmere.
Yes.
Vampires transcend the Cosmere? No.
Different Bella.
Wow.
Led an army native to Roshar or from Roshar.
What about the Sunmaker?
It is not the Sunmaker. I like that, though.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And what's the Sunmaker's name, David?
His name is Sadiz.
Sadiz. Or Sadies. I don't know.
Yeah.
So do you
I know. I'm surprised that they didn't use that as more of a claim to authority. They're like, we have the real name. Everyone else is just said, we got the name. Like,
That's just a good point.
I mean, all the High Princes, but that's boring.
Sure.
Ishar is not from Roshar.
No.
I always forget about those like little like weird snarls.
I'll take
It
Sigil.
became of Rashok.
It is not Sigil.
You guessed Gallant, right? Gallant. I'll guess Sureblood.
It is not Sureblood. I like it. That's good. Clue 3. This character is old.
I think he did back when. Can I guess Nohadon?
It's not Nohadon.
I'm
Yeah,
trying to
maybe in
remember
that
if he
first
technically
vision
did.
when he's talking with
Yeah.
okay. Yeah.
When he says it's time for the sword, like
Yeah.
like that kind of post rec.
Yeah,
With
yeah. that's-
Eyeliz and
that's-
Tarma mentioned. Those are other
Definitely.
Coppermine articles I wrote and finished.
The famous Silver Kingdoms.
No, yeah. Well, pre-Silver Kingdoms, yeah.
Or Kingdoms, I guess, yeah.
He's getting ready.
Bronze Kingdoms.
The Bronze Kingdoms. I mean, they did, Calic did teach them bronze. Or Town, I don't know. No, Town would teach them more. I don't remember. Doesn't matter. I'm tired. Don't at me.
L.
It is L, Evgeni.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Aha. Very good. Very good.
Give me some more clues.
Clue 4, this character has spared a POV character. In Clue 5, this character is rational, unlike some of his friends.
Nice.
Good clues.
Yeah, those are good.
Solid.
Those are good.
Kind of narrows it down, kind of doesn't,
Those are good.
Yeah, only thing that would have been if it was a horse. But
Yeah, well, all the best Cosmere characters are horses.
yeah, you can't have it all.
Yes. All right. And now we'll do one from our Who's That Cosmere Character priority queue. Our Patreon, patreon.com/17shard, has a few different tiers, but on our highest tier, our Herald tier, you can submit things to our priority queue, and we will read them faster than the regular queue. So yeah, so you can do that. And so this one is from Oliver Newcomb, longtime supporter and commenter.
Yep.
And clue 1, this character is a younger sibling.
Fun fact, Oliver Newcomb, younger brother to Duke Nukem.
I feel like that might not be a true statement.
I cannot believe you would call me a liar on
You
our
started
podcast.
this show with a lie, good sir.
That doesn't sound like me.
No, more lies.
Younger sibling,
Yes.
Willie Man, or was she the other one?
She's the older sibling.
Oh, she's the other one.
sibling.
No,
Well-
it's Sabruki that's the younger one.
Well, too bad you
Yeah.
guessed Willie Man and it's not William Man. Tough.
I'd like to
Okay.
guess Sabruki.
No!
Sabruki. That would have been so funny if it was Sabruki. That would have been amazing. It's tempting to just say yes and then just say other clues. There were no other clues. You got it right. You nailed it. No.
Likes pigs. Has been drenched in blood before. Almost shoots around with a crossbow.
Not her parents are actually dead.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it would not be the first time that I have supplied the correct answer for other people
That
to
does
claim.
happen frequently. What do you think, Bonnie?
I'll take non-Balat.
It's not Non-Balat.
He's the oldest.
No, he's not. There was
No, he's
Helloran.
not.
You
Helloran.
dingus.
Oh, Halloran. Yeah.
Dingus.
Yeah, but Halloran's a bastard.
That's still an older sibling.
That's when you're like, wait, Brandon, what? When he adds new lore to a plot you thought was closed. You're just like, what are we doing? You're like, Helleron.
Clue 2.
Okay.
This character's parents are both alive. Sorry, Sabruki.
Damn. Well,
Okay.
Is that-
okay.
And
what's
sorry,
his
the
name?
entire Devar family.
Well, yeah. That's true.
Paladin's new little brother.
Okay,
Oridon?
it is
Oridon.
not.
Yeah.
It is not Oridon.
I thought about guessing Tien because his parents are still alive.
That's
true.
Yeah.
It does satisfy his younger sibling. Parents are alive.
I guess the character
sure.
himself or themselves
does not.
don't need to be
We
alive.
have not determined whether he or she is alive or they are alive or not. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to guess I'm going to make a standby, which is Ridger, the younger brother that
Boom.
everyone loves from the Kingdom of Idris, our
Isn't
boy.
mother dead?
Oh, you're right. She is dead. She died on the fence post. She got stabbed. Damn it. I didn't think about his mom. Oh, well.
Are you gonna get? Is that your guess though?
Well, if you closed on Argent not remembering a relevant detail earlier, so I will accept that as my guess.
Okay, it's not Ridger. Sorry, but we love getting Ridger in here.
Yeah, just had to
Ridger's
do it for the
always-
fans.
No.
A 10 out of 10. Who's that Cosmere character guess here, guys?
Yeah, real Ridger heads now.
No. Ridge heads.
Bridge heads. Sorry, we do a mohawk.
Yeah.
Ridger, famously a Mohawk.
Famously.
bearer.
Yeah,
In
that's
the
why he didn't wanna be
restrained
king.
Idris, famous
Yeah.
for his mohawk.
Siri wasn't the only rebel among.
And you know what? That mohawk, he has the royal locks, so he can make that whatever color he wants.
Incredible.
You know there's gonna be a kid with royal locks mohawk in like Mistborn 17.
Yeah. Oh, AKA Cyberpunk era book 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we all know. Jesus, what is this episode?
Not a lot of people with both of their parents.
It's true.
Alive.
It is true. I do believe that is the case. Yes.
Younger sibling. Tyndall.
It's not Tyndall.
Wax's daughter.
Oh, well, no, it's not Wax's daughter. That would have been funny if it was actual Tyndall. But no. Clue
Well, we don't know much about her family.
No, we don't.
but-
Well, of her parents. we know facts
Neither
about
does she.
Neither does she. There you go.
Shit.
Yeah.
Clue 3, this character is not Rosharan.
Okay.
Gotta lock in.
Where else can we go?
I don't know.
Yeah. The Rashar is easy because like you're just like might as well be. You know, there's just so many options.
Got really hammered.
Yeah.
What about a shard hammer? You know?
Yeah.
Oh, is it Tress's little brother?
It is not Tressa's little brother.
Oh,
What,
well, she does have a
Dwarf
little
Jr.?
brother.
Did he have a normal name? What is that?
I do not remember that.
Eric can check that. Well,
I'll check that.
Yeah.
I think he does have a name. I think our entire family has names.
Oh, there's an Ant Glorf. I do not
Yeah,
see...
she's named kind of after her.
I don't see
That'd be a good one.
sibling, at least on the family thing.
Okay.
Is there not a family tree on the Coppermine page for House Tress?
No, there's not.
Stress.
There's not. But apparently her parents
Yeah,
are
I
named
did-
Lem and Ulba.
Yeah, I remember Lem. I did
We all
think
know
about
Lem.
like the Duke.
Okay.
But like I think Charlie is only child, and then
Yeah.
Yes.
Mr. Chizo-chen is also not an option.
He's like a cousin. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Interesting.
I'll have to look that up afterwards.
Younger sibling.
Yeah. If you know the name of Tress's younger sibling, get in the comments and show us that you're better at this game than us, because we don't know.
Or go edit the wiki.
Edit the
Go
wiki,
to
please.
the
That
wiki
too.
and add the information about Tress's little brother.
Yes. Who may or may not exist. I'm not sure.
Okay.
Mad Prince is not canonical, right?
Not
No.
canonical.
No, I wish he was.
Also, their mother is dead, so.
Also, he's older, I think.
Also, their father's dead.
Disqualified on all grounds.
Literally
And their-
every
and their
single
stepmother.
conceivable.
Their stepmother's also
Not
killed.
canon,
Never
not
mind.
younger. Both
Never
parents
mind.
dead, for sure.
No, and its stepmom was killed too.
The wrongest guess.
God, poor
Hey,
Ashley.
at least he's not from
All right.
Roshar, you know?
Yeah.
That's true.
Wow.
Damn it. Okay, both characters alive. Both parents alive. Not from Rashar.
Okay.
A younger sibling.
Younger sibling. We only have 3. Is that it? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
I'm not feeling Elantris.
Okay.
Oh, I think
Yeah.
I know my next one.
I was
Did I
gonna-
guess?
Because like the only siblings in Elantris I can think of are like Ayang
King.
and
yeah.
and the king of you know
Event-
Oh, that's
the
true.
famous King Tio.
Oh wait a minute. Can I guess? I want to guess Serene.
It is Serene, David.
Yes.
God
She
damn
got
it.
it.
Oh,
Younger sibling.
God damn
Hey, the Struggler siblings, I forgot that.
His
Yeah,
name
that's
is-
what I
his
had
name
to
is
look
like-
up when we were starting
Yeah, no,
this,
it,
but
it
yes.
also has Tio in it. It's like
yeah,
it's
yes, correct.
Taor or something.
Taorn, yes.
I am the instrument of my own destruction.
Yes.
There we go. That's good.
Oh, amazing. You're like, I'm not feeling Elantris. I'm like, okay. the only siblings are Kaya
That was really what
and
got me. Is you were like when you said the only siblings, and I'm like, is that really the only siblings in Elantris? Because I was thinking about them
I mean,
too. but
also
they're
there's
dead.
all of Keen's
like-
kids. They're siblings.
Yeah. there's a lot
true.
of them.
That's true. That's true.
It's like and both parents are alive, so you didn't even go there.
Yeah.
Which is so
Yeah.
funny that David went directly
Cayenne
to
and
3.
Diora. Yeah.
That is, they are definitely like the only kind of like nuclear, like well-functioning like family that we.
Yeah, and just the dad
Great.
was just was a horrible pirate for a decade. It's fine. It's fine. Relax.
He's like
Trust
a
his
modern man and
family
a
is
stay-at-home
pretty good.
dad now.
He
Like-
cooks. He cooks. He's a good dad. Better
He
than
cook-
Lynn. Not
And
a
he
high
cooks
bar.
well.
Yeah.
Yeah, he cooks well. Yeah. All right. Clue 4 was this character has made an intercontinental voyage. That's fun. And clue 5, this character is a sword fighter.
Nice.
That's fun.
Nice.
I like that.
Good one.
That was good.
Good one. Younger brother of Duke Nukem. Oliver Nukem.
No. No. Not even a little bit. All right. Well, this sure was an episode, and I hope you enjoyed whatever the hell this was. If you want more of this, you can subscribe, and you can find us on 17char.com for all your news, discussion, theories, and fun that you could want in insanity. That's where it is. You can go to our Discord server, discord.gg/17shard. Our Patreon is patreon.com/17shard. All the links are in the description. And I don't know, will we do more Emberdark mysteries and wait another 9 months to finish this outline? Who's to say? Probably sooner than that. I'll just have to.
We have the outline ready, so
We should probably do it sooner than later. But it's like, do we do spoiler stream mobs? Because, if we wait too long, then like the mobs aren't spicy
longer
anymore.
topical.
We mine them for our content episodes,
Yeah.
Yeah. We weren't going to be able to finish them. But by the time JordanCon happened anyway, so
No. We are famous for jumping on top of news as soon as they happen and covering them as soon as they happen.
Good sir, sometimes I make a solo video, okay? I was on top of it for the adaptation stuff and the adaptation Shardcast. We were on top of that news, all right? Okay, bye. I'm ending this.
Bye.
Bye.
Jesus
Peace.
Christ. Caw.